Me and Jeff are the hot nature ones. Out, we're always laughing. That's obviously the cold one. It feels good. He said he should have brought his jacket. He's cold in here. That's what I said. Me and Jeff are the hot nature. Go sit down. Everybody else? I'm teasing you. Thank you.
We're in group what?
Danny.
So we're in hold on. Dropbox you added, we don't have to make.
We're in Group B.
No, we're in C.
No, we're not in Group B.
We're in C.
Oh no, I wanted it on the agenda for discussion for tonight.
It's all over. I mean, it does vary.
It wasn't on the first week.
Right here.
I know when I texted you or emailed you, I said,
Oh, I'm looking over here.
Okay.
Okay. It
Right.
does
But you
vary.
put it on,
It
yes.
should be
Okay.
based on
We adopted, and I said, oh, I forgot to ask them, we did, we just make a note.
Okay,
Y'all got it made up, I can
okay.
now, I said, you know what, I'm gonna learn the second part.
population. Okay, so that's why we're in Group B. Or, no, we're
All right, everybody. It is 6:30. Thank you, everybody, for showing up tonight, taking the time out of your day to come hang out with us at City Hall. First up is roll call. I believe everybody is here tonight. Danny's here. I think he just went out to his office to grab something. And I need approval for the agenda.
Mr. Mayor, I need to make 2 amendments to the...
Okay?
It was brought to my attention that we never came to a resolution on the hiring a code enforcement officer, so I'd like to go back and just finish that discussion, as well as I would like to have a discussion, just opening discussion on House Bill 295.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is that your motion to adopt the agenda as amended?
Yes, please.
All right, so we got a motion. Do we have a second?
second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, meeting's called to order. First up is Planning and Development Committee. Lisa?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, in the matter of item number 2A on the agenda, I'd like to make a motion to extend the existing moratorium for an additional 6-month period through September 30th, 2026 on all rezone applications and annexation applications for properties located within the city limits of Loganville, as well as properties seeking to be incorporated into the city limits. And that's my motion.
All right, we got a motion. Do we have a second? We got a second by Melanie Long. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Next is item 2B, and that is the appointment for the Loganville Planning Commission. And if we all remember that we've got 4 seats open. Keith was elected to city council. 2 have, their terms have expired, but they've also reapplied. And 1 is vacant because she did not reapply. And I see Kim is here tonight. I'm not sure if anyone else is here tonight that applied. Dana's here tonight.
Dana's here.
Anybody else? So the question is, how do we want to do this? Because in the past, we've actually had them come in and we've interviewed them with questions. So the question is, do you guys want to go with what's on paper and choose, or do you want to bring them in and have them be interviewed, or do you want them just to come in and give a 2 or 3 minute introduction? That's the questions.
I wouldn't be opposed to a couple of questions. That way we can kind of follow what has been done before, because I mean, that's what I experienced, so I don't see any need to change it at this point.
Okay. Patty?
You know, it's like, I think if one person wants, sorry, I'm talking to Lisa. If one person wants to have an interview session, I think then we should,
Okay.
regardless of what I think.
Okay.
As far as, you know, your question.
Okay. So Danny, do we do that in the work session in April or the council meeting? The work session, okay.
We do it
Then-
during the
I'm good
work
with that.
session, not before? Not do a called meeting?
Y'all could do either one. You could do it work session, or you could do it 30 minutes prior. That's what the city
How does
council
the
wants.
agenda shaping up for next month? Gonna be a big one?
Sir, I have no idea.
Bill?
Let's just, if we can, start at 6 o'clock and just ask a couple questions. Keep it brief.
I mean, you gotta have a call council meeting either way, so why not just do 6:30? Unless you just want.
6:30?
You're gonna be here 2 hours regardless if it's 6 to 8 or 6:30 to 9. It's up to y'all. It's a call council meeting either way, because it's y'all are gonna be here.
Now, why is it called? I'm sorry. So you don't want to wait till April?
No, I think we have to wait till April. I wasn't sure if we did it on the work session or the council
The
meeting.
reason
That was
it's
my
called,
question.
because it's outside your normal hours of 6:30.
If we
Yeah,
do it at 6:30, we don't have to make it a called meeting.
That's correct. It'll be a normal council
okay.
meeting.
Right, I would
You
just say
could,
do
I
it
could,
at 6:30.
if you want me to, I
That's
could
fine.
put it, after the, call to order and adoption agenda and all that, we could start then. Which planning and development's first anyway, so it'll be at the beginning of the agenda. However y'all want to do it, it doesn't,
I
to
mean,
us, it does not
for some
matter.
of us that work, it's a little bit harder to come, I know with you,
Yeah.
to get here earlier.
yeah, I mean, I could be here as close to 6 as I can, but it all
I
depends
just
on
can do it
traffic.
at 6:30.
6:30, everybody go 6:30,
And then who's
okay.
going to decide the questions?
We should already have questions.
Okay.
Robbie, do we have questions from last time?
You know, send the questions out to y'all and y'all pick.
Yeah, because, I mean, we got 6 applicants, and if each person goes first, that's 6 questions.
Or we're gonna do a hard stop
Yes.
of,
Can we do this in 30 minutes, 20 minutes?
We got 6 times.
That's 5 minutes
2
apiece.
minutes, 5 minutes apiece? Yeah, okay.
That means they get less
30
than a
minutes?
minute a question.
That's fine.
Now, are we going to share our questions with each other, or how are we going to do that? Because if we've got
If I remember right,
duplicates, then that'll cut some time out.
if I remember right, Robbie, each one was sitting down, and then one by one would ask the same question, and then the second question would go to the second person.
Just keep it simple, keep it
But
like
we
2
already have a
questions.
list of questions that
Yeah.
we've been asking them in the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if we keep it on track, we'll be fine.
Okay.
so just so I know, I will send a list of the questions. Y'all tell me yes or no. We have a brief introduction of, I think it was 2 minutes, and then the questions are X minutes, and with a hard stop of 7 PM, regardless.
Yep,
Okay. Yes.
I'm good.
Robbie, you got that?
Okay, and then last, the reason why we have on item 2C is discussion for donation drop boxes is it's been brought to my attention from some of the citizens that drop boxes, and I've read around the city looking at them, they're more than a drop box. It just creates an avenue for someone to drop off their trash. And the one in question that brought this up a few weeks ago, or a few months ago now, it was furniture sitting out there, I think a sofa, love seat, and then it turned into a set of tires. And then, so we've got all these donation drop boxes. They're supposed to be permitted. I don't think they're actually permitting. They are permitting. They are.
Well, I ride around and I've seen way more than,
Yeah.
So there's only one
What-
permitted box, is what you're saying? Right, but the
Microphone.
rest of them that are popping up everywhere are not permitted.
So anyways, the question on for tonight is do we want to limit or just do away with donation drop boxes? Because apparently somebody's got to go out and enforce that they've actually filled out the permit. Go ahead.
I forgot to look this up before coming, but at Gwinnett County, they put in a pretty good ordinance there. They even require them to put $1 million insurance policy.
Oh, wow.
This is due to a incident in Michigan, if I believe. A young lady got caught in it and wound up dying, caught in the bin. So they put it pretty strict, so if we could take a look at that, then that would give us a good start and somewhere to go. Excuse me.
Sounds like a safety issue now, too.
I'm in favor of doing away with them, but that's just me.
Yeah, I would be in favor of that too, because we have the big center out in Monroe, and then we've got the convenience centers scattered around the county, and you've got the Fish and Goodwill. There's plenty of avenues to get rid of, to donate your clothes. And to me, this is just going to turn into a burden on the city. We have to go out there and cite the people and get it cleaned up.
I agree. Unless, Paul, is there any legal reason we?
So 3 years ago, y'all asked us to pass a regulatory ordinance structure that was passed. So that was the last thing I've heard of donation drop boxes until about, 2 hours ago when Danny said it was added to the agenda. So the answer I'll give you is you're in the middle of a zoning ordinance code rewrite. That will have approved uses and not uses. There are use regulations, restrictions in there. So the short answer is I don't know, because this is just now coming up. So you have a regulatory regime from Chapter 10 in your ordinances, Article 7, Chapter 10, that has specific regulations on donation drop boxes. In addition, your zoning ordinance, I think, speaks to them in some form or fashion, but my suggestion is that you need to task staff with researching, what is an appropriate way to address this. And then that can allow us to communicate with staff on, are there any legal issues on sort of a total elimination of the use, and what sort of ramifications would that have? So about, like I said, July of 2023, y'all passed Article 7 of Chapter 10 that provided for a regulatory regime to regulate essentially unattended drop boxes, not a true Fish location or Goodwill location and that sort of a thing. And so I just can't answer that question without letting staff dig into it from a zoning planning perspective and from us digging into it from a legal perspective. So we'd be happy to do that for you. But that's sort of a new direction from where your last position on drop boxes was, which was to regulate them. So this
Well,
is,
I think on the surface, it sounds like a nice thing to do, but it's turned into a place for people to dump their trash.
yeah, and I can't speak to that.
Yeah.
I don't.
And as I understand in my discussions with Jeff and Danny over the last few months, we do have the ordinance, but the ordinance speaks to the size, the paint, the setting them side by side, things like that. And also in discussions with them, they're supposed to be permitted. Most of them, I guess at the time, nobody had filled out a permit, is what I was told. And then now it's up to code enforcement to go visit all these businesses that have them. So in my opinion, if we just do away with them, we don't have to task code enforcement with keeping up with them.
All right, with the one that is permitted right now, Robbie, if I could, is there an expiration date on those permits? They have to renew? 5 years? All right, thank you. So at that point, if we do away with it, then that one would be not renewed, I'm assuming. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see the post about this if it came out shortly, so I'm thinking about it.
You want to think about it?
Yeah. 'cause,
Okay.
It sounds like to me we need to set staff and Paul on this and bring it back to us when it's ready. That sound like the consensus from council?
Seems fair.
So is the consensus to do away, to eliminate drop boxes? Because we kind of need marching orders, like, do away with
If you
it?
want a straw poll, my vote is to do away with them.
I'm doing, if we,
Do away.
if it's not a legal issue, do away with them.
I think we need to find out if it's legal.
Well, yeah, we're
That's
gonna
what
find
we're
out if it's
saying.
legal, but
Oh,
we'll come back in
okay,
April and say,
okay.
yes, Our objective was to
If
do
it's
away with them,
legal.
but legal says we can't.
Yeah, if it's legal.
If it's legal, do away
yeah,
with 'em.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to that end, if we do, just the most likely path would then to address that in your new zoning ordinance draft to where they're simply not a permitted use, or perhaps they're a conditional use if, you know, if there's a mandated need. So we will get with staff, and then we can address the regulatory regime. Because remember, you're dancing in two worlds. You're dancing in zoning and you're dancing in regulation, and sort of, you know, we got to address it from both perspectives of your code, but we can certainly dig into that with staff.
And
Thank you.
if I could throw out there one thing too, if we do decide to do away with them and they are placed illegally, we need to make sure that there's verbiage in the ordinance for disposal, because sometimes it's hard to get in touch with some of these folks and they just ignore you. So that would probably need to be worked in there as verbiage as well.
Okay, and that is all we have for planning and development.
All right, thank you, Lisa. Up next is the Finance Committee. Keith, what you got for us tonight?
Got a couple of things for you folks tonight. We had two things, one thing added on here at short notice, but we're going to start with A. Patty asked if we could put in here discussion about the raised compensation for the mayor and council, so I'm going to open that up for any discussion you folks might have.
Any discussion on that?
Yep. Let me just say, and then, you know, obviously you probably want to discuss it. This would not take effect until 2 years from now, because that's the way the statute's written. It would be 2027, January, after the next set of officer or council people are installed, which would be 2027.
28,
28.
January 2028.
So, you're talking about the election. Okay, sorry, confusion. January 2028. Okay, that's the first thing. And I forget now what the second point was. That was the biggie. I didn't want y'all to think we're going to raise our own salaries, because it's just not permitted. But now the discussion is if you want to raise your salaries, and if so, how much?
I'll put out there to make an adjustment, not an increase, but an adjustment. It'd be expense neutral to take everybody's salary and divide it by 7, and everybody gets paid the same.
And that would be,
I think it comes out to $571 and some change.
any other comments?
I make a motion to do what Lisa's saying and do it by 10.
All right, we can't, you can't do it yet.
Can't make a motion.
Yeah.
So let me throw in a little flavor here. So this is governed by Georgia law. It's governed by Title 36. So if y'all are going to raise your salaries, Ms. Patty's correct that your salaries would not be raised. The January 2028 seated council's salaries, it would take effect then. Additionally, if that is action that y'all want to take, you need to give us direction, because it requires specific advertising mandates. And it would have to come for you. And then the only other mandate is you can't do it during qualifying. So that's just another little nuance. So next, roughly May to, it's roughly, I think, May to August during that season. So if y'all want to do it, you've got plenty of time to do it. You just need to let us know when you're going to do it, and so that we can get it advertised for you properly.
So, I'm not opposed to it. I would think, though, that two things. I think the Finance Committee should, I mean, Danny gave us some stats tonight. I think the Finance Committee should look at it and come back with the proposal. And the second thing is I don't think we should water down what the mayor makes. I think the mayor does a lot of stuff outside of what we're doing. So I think there ought to be a differentiation, but anyway, I think, we've got some numbers that Danny gave us, and, somebody look at it and come up with something, and either it stays the same, which I'm fine with, or it comes back with, hey, just a slight adjustment.
Well,
Just-
Patty, but I was going to say, I think the other point you were going to make is that this council has not had a raise in, was it 20?
Oh, that was it.
That- I knew that was-
14 years, 14 years. And I just went in and did a little calculation. if we had gotten the 2.8% COLA raise, which is your cost of living raise that a lot of people get with their jobs, and you take it down for the number of years we haven't gotten a raise, the actual amount we should be making, just if we had gotten the COLA, is $735. Now, we make $500, so that would be the increase, if you just did the math.
And just, since I think everybody should say something, because we're all talking about this. First of all, when I got elected, I didn't know we got paid. So that was like, wow, I get money. And I do the work and I do the research. I will say for the amount of research that I and some of the others do, it's a lot of money. And I go to all the city functions as well. If we don't get a raise, I am fine, because I was prepared to do it for free. But now, knowing what's involved in it, I'm not opposed to a raise. I'm not going to say no, but I'm good either way we do. But we need to be fiscally responsible to our citizens. And I agree, all the staff continually gets raises and COLA raises, and yet for 14 years, the people that are giving everybody else a raise hasn't seen any kind of increase. That's just my 2 cents. You have anything, Wes?
Tend to agree with Patty, what she said. After doing some of the research, I tend to back her up on that. So that's my opinion and my thoughts.
No more?
So it sounds like we got 4 that want to look more into this. Since everybody else is talking, I will say this is tough, because I don't believe anybody does this for the money, and that's not why we do this work. I don't care how much or how little we're paid. You do this because you love the city. I personally am against it, from changing our salaries at all. I don't believe anybody should do this for the money, number one. But also, I don't want to, I think if we took a straw poll of most American citizens, they're gonna say politicians are overpaid already. So I don't really want to add to that. But that's just me. I know I might not have a vote in this, but I just want to let y'all know my thoughts on it, so in case it does come up, just so y'all know how I feel about it. But it sounds like there's 4 that want to look deeper into this, so then that would trigger Paul to do the advertisements, and we have it on the meetings and go forward with it that way.
I think there's more than 4.
More than 4 meetings?
No, more than 4 than 4 weekends.
There's 1, 2, oh, my bad, 5. 5, my bad. I lost count. So we got 5 that are wanting to look at it, so. Is that enough marching orders there, Paul?
I mean, I think the important thing would be is that before you, we'll do whatever you tell us to do, but before we advertise it, I think y'all need to have a consensus and understanding of sort of what this number change is. So if staff can assist you, I know that the most recent municipal elected official survey from GMA or DCA was 2022. It's got a lot of numbers in there that y'all can look at. And so it's up to y'all how y'all want to do it. All we need to do is get the ad in. The ad sort of needs to be, for a month. So if you told us tonight what the number is, we could maybe get the ads in to hit April. Probably, I mean, there is no rush on this because it's not going to trigger until 2028. Getting it done this year, I would just, get staff to work with you and y'all come up with what these 2 numbers are. And then let us advertise it for you after y'all have got clarity on what your number's gonna be. And then it's no big deal to get the ads in for you.
Well, I would then, to Bill's point a little bit, since we just got some new information, we just now got the community affairs guide to look at. Maybe give council until Thursday to look this over and maybe talk about it and think about it and come back Thursday with some numbers in your mind, if that's the way y'all want to go. And then we can go forward on Thursday. That sound like a decent plan for everybody?
Show does.
Yes.
All right.
So just for the record, if you did 14 years times 2, that's, 28%. That's really not a lot, 28%. what you're currently making is like $1,600 a year. It's not a lot. I mean, it's not a lot. I mean, y'all have not gotten a raise since Bill Jones was here, and the time for that was probably another 10 years.
May I just ask, I hope I'm not out of line, but what do the citizens, do y'all feel odd about it, or do you feel negative about it, positive? You probably don't feel positive about it.
I would think maybe have them come up and talk during public speaking time, so,
Will y'all do that? Because I really want to know. I don't want to sit here and do something y'all were going to be upset
I don't
with.
want to derail a meeting or, have people, I want to stay to our
That
format.
works. That works.
But no, I'm fine with them coming and speaking
Okay.
their mind about it.
I'm fine.
Just
That's
maybe doing
good.
it during the public comment
Okay.
section of the meeting.
Because I really do want to know.
Numbers I know. I could probably teach you that.
All right. Still you, Keith?
Okay, on our next item, it's going to be the GMEBS OPEB actuarial services invoice for fiscal year 2025 of $13,350, come out of Fund 100-1510-523-600. This is something that's done every other year, or every other year. I'm going to let Natalie kind of take up on this.
The FOOC. Too loud for me.
Holy cow. I'm afraid. I don't think I'm loud enough now. Every other year,
Every
a
other.
full actuary is done. So it appears it's going to be every audit year. And GMA has not properly invoiced us for the previous 3 years. They realized when they did this actuary, because I was kind of pushing for the audit, that it was a full year and they had not invoiced us properly. They did not back invoice us. This is for the full audit for 25. It's not a past due balance or anything like that. So it was not budgeted for because the prior 3 budgets did not have a full price in it. It was only a half.
So we're correcting their mistake.
They are, yes. But they did not charge us for their mistake.
Okay.
All right, any discussion on this?
I just have a question about the invoice was in November, I think, that you received. Was it accrued at that time in
So,
November?
They invoiced us after they completed it, yes. But it wasn't accrued because it was in this fiscal year that we paid for it. Am I understanding what you mean by accrual?
Yeah, because it can be used so many different ways.
Yeah.
When you got the bill in November for 2025, but yet you didn't accrue it until 26 because you didn't have the bill.
No,
I'm
November of
curious as-
25 is this fiscal year.
Do what?
November of 25 is this fiscal year we're currently in.
Remember, you're on a July 1 fiscal year. You're not on a calendar year here.
But isn't it FYE 2026, June 30th of 2026? But that's still the 2020. So was it accrued in November when you received the invoice? That's,
Maybe you
I'm
mean, was it
confused.
paid?
Beg your pardon?
Maybe you mean, was it physically paid in November?
No, was it put on the books? Was it,
It's-
I mean, when
yes,
you
it's
got the
It's
bill.
currently on the books now.
okay, and it
Yes,
was
it
put
is.
there?
It is sitting on the books now. It has made that line item go outside of the budget because we did not budget for it.
Okay, and it was put there in November? It was put on the books in November?
The invoice was November. We probably made the payment within 30 days, I would
Okay,
say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just, because we just now got it, is why I was curious, so.
So going through budgets, the budget process, I noticed that it was in a negative. So instead of doing this in an annual basis from now on, we're bringing these things to y'all as they are occurring so
Okay.
that we're not at the year end throwing a bunch of budget amendments at y'all.
Okay,
We're trying to keep it clean as we go from now on.
all right, thanks.
Anybody else? All right, if not, can I suggest we put this on the consent agenda for Thursday night?
Everybody good with consent?
For Thursday night, for now, for tonight?
Thursday night. Consent
He's
agenda
asking us to
Thursday.
put it on the consent agenda.
Yep.
We are.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right, we'll add that to consent agenda.
All right, thank you, folks. Item C, the purchase of a 2025 Ford F-550 Versalift bucket truck, amount of $150,000, be taken out of budget item 100-4900-542-200. We currently are working off of a 1986 vehicle that is not in good shape. They sometimes can't even use the bucket, so this is a budgeted item. Any questions or comments?
Go ahead.
Okay, as far as working with equipment, after talking to Dustin back there, basically it's grinding when it is shifted into the PTO. Guys, we have to watch out for safety violations. I've run calls where people have been trapped on those, and there comes a time that you do have to update your equipment. And from what he has told me, I think that we need to look into possibly taking this and moving forward with it, as far as safety-wise, for the employees.
All right.
That's my opinion.
Sounds good, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Melanie, did you have something?
I'll let Lisa go.
I just wanted to ask, do we just go straight to the vendor and get one quote for this, or is this on state contract?
There were a couple
I'll
of
let
quotes.
staff, because they handled this. Kyle, Dustin, or Ross, I think Ross will handle it.
To answer your question on,
Turn your microphone on.
You can draw Kyle with you.
Oh, I could talk loud enough. Anyhow, now, this time around, I went ahead and tried to get 3 quotes from dealerships, various dealerships. One of them, I didn't get any response back after several attempts. Anyhow, the one dealership that did respond, well, there's 2 dealerships that responded back really fast. One of them was Loganville Ford, and the other one was Custom Truck One Source. They're a major dealership that deals with nothing but utility vehicles, commercial vehicles. I mean, these things are ready to go. The power companies, Walton EMC, go to these guys when they need a major league utility vehicle or whatever. Regular car dealerships, sometimes when they have their own customer that needs something fast, and they only want to buy it from that particular car dealership, a lot of times they go to Custom Truck One Source and get it from them, just so they can satisfy their particular customer. Because, you know, once you get used to, you know how customers, you're used to buying from one place, you want to buy it from that particular salesman or whatever. So, Custom Truck One Source is nationwide. They're big, and they got the facility too. So, even the dealer, I met the salesman. He wanted to come see our facility, and just a nice young man dealing with him and that kind of stuff. And even called him about some more vehicles today, possibly for the future, just so we could get our budgets, you know, in line, that kind of thing, and plot for the future. Because, like everything else, trucks wear out. We use them every day. They wear out. So, I think this is a need, myself, my own opinion. Y'all not asking me, but maybe y'all, I don't know.
We are asking you.
But these guys, they need it.
Let me ask
In
you,
my professional opinion.
it's not something, it's a specialty vehicle. I mean,
Correct,
so, how, I mean, I see that we use it to hang Christmas decorations, trim the tree, pressure wash, things like this. How often is the truck gonna be, the one we have now? How many months out of the year does it sit versus how many days are we using it?
Mr. West hit on, we're real limited on what we can use. Old Greenie, that's what we call it, Old Smoky. Sometimes, some people call it Old Smoky because it smokes like a freight train. But anyhow, So we're real limited on this, on the one we have now. It's kind of too big for a lot of situations. This other bucket truck is, this newer bucket truck is more maneuverability. It's got a lot of maneuverability to it. You can get it in tighter places. It's strong enough, big enough, and can lift high enough, but without outriggers, which is a plus, because you don't have to have that extra wide room. It don't take a lane or extra lane to, you say you could possibly, you could put it on Main Street with no problem, hanging decorations or anything like that. Say there's some limbs to cut down. It's not always, a lot of room to get in there. This truck will get in there, should get in there a lot better than what we have now.
And could I point out too, this will be used by multiple departments, not just
Correct.
one?
Oh, yeah. The major ones, of course, Public Works, facilities, be using it a bunch, and IT. IT's got projects lined up to do. Facilities got several projects they need to get done, especially over at the water department, around the sewage plant. I think you've got a lot of lights to hang and redo and rewire over there. It's gonna be used.
Where will you be storing it? I mean, that's a big investment. Where are you gonna store it?
Jeremy's got a place in the shed at his.
So it'll be
shed,
indoors?
So he'll be maintaining it, or not, he'll be the watchdog over it, I guess you'd say. Like I said, it'll be right there in plain view, but up under a shed, out of the weather.
And that's
Not-
gated, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
so-
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
that
they're
protection.
gated,
Well, I was
like
just
all
more
the other
worried
vehicles.
about the weather. If it sits there 3 or 4 months at a time without being used, it's just sitting there.
Yeah, it'll be out of the weather. It will be out of the weather, so.
Can I ask a quick one? Will Custom Truck, is this a vehicle to have on site, or will they have to order
They
it?
do have this, well, they have several of these ready to go.
Okay.
This one, this particular one, the one he gave me a specific price on the other day. He sent me a VIN number and everything. He said this particular truck's in our Texas lot, but he said they can get it shipped, within a day,
Pretty quick.
2 days, we get it quick. So
Not
it's
like having to order it.
sitting on- It's almost like sitting on their lot. I call that Lithonia where they're at, but they're actually, it's Decatur.
Yes, sir.
Location is where they're at, but he'd say he would drop it to our front door.
All right.
So we wouldn't have
It's
to
not like you have to
send two
order it
people
and
to
wait
go
for it
get
to be built and brought to you.
Right.
Okay.
It's not, it's ready to go. He said they got plenty of them ready to go.
What are you gonna do with the old one?
Whatever.
I mean, has it still got life in it? I mean,
We have thought about putting it in the auction and see if it brought anything. It might, there might be somebody that's willing to do something with it. I don't know. So
Yeah.
It's
that's,
a 1986 model.
so.
It needs to be
it
auctioned.
might bring a little bit, so if that's what y'all decide we wanna do, that's what we'll do.
So Danny, I'm still confused, because it seems like a few months ago, we told Loganville Ford we had to buy those vehicles on contract, and this is a lot of money that we don't have to buy on contract. So what dictates what we have to buy on contract and not?
Well, we got 3 bids. That satisfies the requirement, the 3 bids.
We got 2, right?
Yeah, but we try to get 3. This is one of the issues I was telling y'all, when we get away
I
from state
understand, I
contract.
understand.
They may call, they may not, and this is one vendor who, I'm not gonna mention my name, but they did not call. But yes, so this company, we got 2 quotes that does satisfy our bid process. So it goes with that.
And on top of that, it appears to be the lower bid too, correct?
All right. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You wanna say something?
All right. Any more questions for Ross or Danny?
What about warranty-wise? Is it the same standard warranties or what?
Yes, sir,
Okay.
I don't have it, well, I might have it right in front of me, but y'all, I know I have it. What is it, 5-year on the drivetrain, 5-year, 100,000 mile, I think, on a commercial vehicle.
Yeah, the body has
The-
different warranty than
The structure itself, what the platform and all, the structure, is warranted, I think, for 3 years. 36,000 miles, let's see, where's that? trying to go off middle of the page. I think I'd have it memorized. Probably. These $2 glasses I'm wearing. Here we go.
Yeah, 12 months.
Yeah, yeah, the Versalift itself is 12 months.
Okay.
Which is pretty standard on any boom lift type situation. Bucket reach is 45 working height and that kind of stuff. You got a drivetrain 5-year, 100,000 mile. You got a bumper to bumper warranty, 3-year, 36,000 mile. But drivetrain is, those of y'all might not know, but it's motor, transmission, differential. And then bumper to bumper is the little things. I call them the little things. That's like I said, 3-year, 36,000 mile. That's pretty standard.
Going back to what I asked originally, how often do we plan on using it? I guess I'm interested in, not necessarily this one, but last month we talked about a $50,000 bathroom, you know, and everything. And so it's not something you use every day. And so I'm sitting there thinking, we're hanging Christmas decorations, we're trimming trees. Again, as a business owner, I always think it's the more responsible thing to do to buy something, but I'm sitting here thinking, have we done a cost-benefit analysis to buying this outright versus, hey, let's everybody get their projects together, we're gonna rent a bucket truck for 2 weeks, a month, or whatever, and then we're not having the maintenance, we're not having the issues with it, and we,
They have done some of that in the past, a good bit of that in the past. Kyle's got some.
All right. The whole reason I'm on this at all, to be honest, is because I'm the first one that has the need for the bucket truck. We stopped using it. We don't use the old one at all anymore because of the safety concerns. I can't put Mike out there driving it down the road. I drove it a couple times myself back to the shop, and I'm like, we're not driving this thing on the road anymore. So they were actually bringing it to us and delivering it, and then we'd use it, and then they take it back. It's just not, can't use it. So we did rent a trailer a couple times. The trailers that you try and position, you got to back it into a hole. We have 2 cameras that are out of reach right now. I have a huge camera replacement project that I want to try and do over the next 10 years. If we get a good grant, then I might be able to do it sooner. But half of the cameras are at a higher angle than they are now. Everything that's been installed is at man height, where we can get it with a ladder, but a lot of the recommended heights are higher. And we need something like this to be able to access them. And yes, I can rent, but the rental cost, it's going to cost us about $1,000 for a week. And then if you rent it 10 times in a year, your ROI on something like this is like 15 years, and you've paid it off. And that's just me renting it 10 times a year. So the amount of tree trimming and the amount of other things that you're doing with it, you're going to pay it off tenfold. And the fact that it's stored underneath cover somewhere, it's not out in the weather, and somebody's watching it all the time, maintaining it. We have a 40-year-old bucket truck that lasted 40
Right.
years. You're going to pay for this bucket truck 2, maybe 3 times by the time you get done with it. And it's smaller. Anybody can drive it. Like, it's almost a no-brainer. Otherwise, I would have just kept renting it. But I'm telling you, the rental will far exceed the cost of this.
Also, we need to take into consideration each year, each one of these items keep going up in price. They can average between $5,000 to $6,000 per year, so you really need to take that into consideration.
And again, with the information provided, this was a budgeted item.
It was? Okay.
Anything else? All right, if nothing else, I'd like to see if we can put this on the consent agenda as well.
Yeah, everybody okay with consent, or y'all want to wait for Thursday?
I'm good with consent.
Consent.
Me too. I'm good.
Sounds like good for consent.
Awesome, thank you. All right, the last thing for us is going to be about cash payments regarding the pennies and nickels. I'm going to refer over to Natalie and Danny on this, if you don't mind. This does only affect cash payers only, so.
I'm sorry, Danny, I forgot.
Flip a
to bring my
coin.
Pennies.
Flipping a coin, she goes.
I don't even remember that. Is that on our agenda?
So we are currently on our last roll of pennies. The bank no longer issues pennies, as y'all know, because they've quit making them. So our cash transactions, majority of them, especially utility payments, ends in random change. So if we can't make that change, we either force a credit or they don't pay their bill in full. So we have been discussing that since we're on our last roll of pennies. And yes, we could probably scrounge up pennies to get us through, but eventually we're going to run out of them. So we've suggested that maybe we just round up to the nearest dollar and apply that to a credit on their account. And that would be the cash only for the people who don't have exact change, or it doesn't end in a round number. So it's not going to be every single cash payment. It's just going to be those that doesn't end in that round
And I
number.
think Danny said that's what the city of Monroe's doing,
They are.
and it's working for them.
So if my bill's 78.46, you're gonna round it up to 79, but you're putting that difference on.
Yeah,
Right, if I pay
yeah.
right, that's what I'm saying, but, right, okay.
Yes, and that credit goes on your account, it's your money, sitting on your account, waiting for your next billing cycle.
Yeah, and also the funds won't be sitting in an interest-bearing account, so the city will not be making any money off of that.
And that's gonna be across all the taxes that we take, everything that we take, plan, code review, plan review, occupational tax, that's all formula, so it's going to end in cents, so. And the reason we can't take cash and give a credit at the same time and give change is because then the drawers will come up short. So it's either one or the other. So reached out to City of Monroe in depth today, talked to her. This is what they do. It's been working well. You are going to have some of those people that come in that get upset. It's just, no matter what we do, there's only somebody that gets upset, but either they pay exact change, pay by check, or pay by credit card. But, I think eventually nickel's going to be next.
Well, it's important to know that we didn't do away with the pennies, so.
No, we did not.
Right, we did not.
Any other discussion? All right. And does this need to go for a vote, or can we put it on consent?
No, it's just more of letting y'all know that's what we're doing in case you get the phone calls
Oh,
from
okay.
the citizens.
All right, just FYI. All right, awesome, thank you.
All right.
That is all I have, Mayor.
And
Thank you,
we'll
Keith.
post all this up front and let everybody know that if you pay cash, this will apply.
All right.
Well, thank you, Danny, and thank you, Keith. Up next is Public Safety Committee, Melanie Long.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll go with the item that's on the agenda first, and then we'll hit the others. So, send that to Danny, and then here's you one. Jeff, I have one for you as well, sir. If you'll just pass these down. There's been some discussion amongst some of us about, Danny, you do a great job of calling us or texting us and letting us know when there's a lot of things going on, but there's more things we don't know than we do know. And I can't speak for everybody, but I'll get a lot of phone calls and I'll get asked a question. I tell them I don't know, I either have to call you or whatever, and inadvertently, they always think one of two things, that I'm not being transparent or that I'm not doing my job. So we've discussed among ourselves, now Lisa, you reached out to Bill and Keith. And so I took everybody's suggestions and I kind of just parlayed it into one.
Let me say this, I reached out to Bill and Keith, but I made contact with Keith. So Bill and I have not had
Okay,
this
so I didn't
discussion.
get any input from you, Keith, though. I don't think, did you send me any? Okay.
I sent it to you from me.
From
Yeah,
both,
I
okay,
consolidated
gotcha,
our-
okay,
yeah,
so
our
you
discussion
didn't,
to you.
tell me that,
Yes.
okay. So basically, these are just things, and it was funny because the majority of us are interested in the same amount, or the same information. Because I think that the council should know as much as the mayor, and we don't. So I think if we got a weekly report, and Danny, you used to do this for us a long time ago when I first got elected. You would email us out a kind of a weekly report and let us know what's going on. And it kind of fell by the wayside. So I'm just gonna hand these out to everybody. Y'all can take them. We can discuss this again Thursday. If you don't like it, you don't want a weekly report, even though I felt like the consensus was we do want a weekly report. It can even be bi-weekly. I'm okay with that as well. But I do think this is the type of information that your council would like to have in order that we can better serve our citizens. So is there any discussion on this?
I'll just say that I don't like it when I'm out and about and a citizen asks a question, and I don't have any clue, any way to answer it, or they're the ones telling me what's going on. So I do think this will be, I haven't looked at everything on there, we just got it, but
That's what I'm saying,
yeah, it's a good tool that will keep us informed.
So just take it home with you, look it over. Let's just discuss it Thursday. That was just,
Do you have an extra one?
oh, did you not get one? Oh, wait, here it is. Ah, there it is. There it is.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. It got left behind. But
I
just
I
look
don't
at it.
have any problems with any of this. The only thing is, I think it's expected that the mayor knows a lot of this. I don't know a lot of this either. Like for the Whataburger thing, I found out as soon as someone posted it online.
That's where I found it.
So
Was
that's
on-
where
I saw it
found
on
out about-
Facebook.
So I don't think the city is gonna be able to do all of this, because I don't
No.
think the city knows.
I agree.
a lot of it,
And this isn't like
but-
every week, I need to know this, and this.
Yeah.
This is just a guideline of like the types of information we'd like to have each week.
Yeah,
I think just call it what's going on in my city.
yeah,
It's just a high-level view, so we have some notes and,
that works. It'd be good for meetings too, so I know what to say if we
Yeah,
gotta
'cause I mean, like
go
this-
speak somewhere.
This past week, I got a call from a lady, she said, hey, they put up silk fence right behind my house, what's being built there? I go, I don't know. She goes, you don't know what's being built there? I go, no, I don't, but I'll find out. How many times, I mean, I had to
A
call
lot
you.
of stuff I don't know, y'all. That's why we have staff members that run the departments. I mean, a lot of this stuff is gonna require me sitting down one whole day and calling every single department head and say, how many rezone requests did you get? Angela, how many people did we terminate or write up or new hires?
I don't know that you need to call them as much as here's the questions. Can they just shoot that
Yeah.
to you as an email? I mean, it's not supposed to be labor-intensive, but,
But it will be though.
well,
because
we need to know what's going on in our city.
That's why you have me and staff to inform you of the big things. Like, I have no problem doing the updates before. The reason we stopped the updates because I was getting so many open records requests for them. So it's just, I had to go back and look for them. That was one of the reasons, but
Yeah,
I can do those.
I also work a full-time job, and I don't want to have to call them and say, somebody asked me about Whataburger. What's going on with Whataburger? Give me the latest. We should have something every couple of weeks at least saying, here's what's going on.
Right, when you've got a council getting all their information from citizens and Facebook, that's just not,
But that's
For
going
me,
to
that's-
continue because I cannot, it's impossible for me to report everything. Like the fence behind this, I had no idea that fence. I had to call Robbie and he told me. There are going to be things that I don't know about. Police don't tell me every time they run a call or something. A lot of times y'all get those calls, hey, what's going on in my subdivision? And I have to call. I don't think y'all understand how much work it is on my end to do this, that when I'm trying to do other stuff. I can do the update reports that are generic, but when we get down to retirements, notice of new hires, like split invoices, I don't know what split invoice is.
that's what I'm
but
saying,
like-
some of these were just ones that we were gonna mark off. I wanted to make sure that everybody that had a question, it was represented here. That's why I'll let everybody take this home and we can pare this
Right.
down to the most important stuff. I just wanted to make sure that everybody that sent me something, your voice is represented here. And in a lot of ours, we all had the same exact questions and we can highlight those.
And again, we just got it, and I can
Yeah.
already see there's things on here that I would strike off.
Right,
I just got it, yeah. so I'm
right, that's what I'm
looking
saying,
through
but
it
I
now.
put everything that we got on here. So, but we're not looking to talk about, I just wanted to give y'all that to start a dialogue.
Yeah, but the biggest questions I get are out of planning and development. Why did they clear those trees down at Ingalls? Well, I don't know why. I'll call and find out. And then, or the citizen tells me why we did. So just communication is all.
Okay. So that's that. Then the two things that we added. The code enforcement, we had a discussion last month, and Chief Lowry came up and spoke to us, and I don't feel like we made a definitive decision about that. So, would like to just wrap up our discussion, and then we can make a decision of what we want to do moving forward. So, personally, I think we should hire a second code enforcement officer. So I just want to see where everybody else is falling in that.
So I think, for me, of course, what I said last time, and I think where we left it too was, hey, we've got budget coming and we'll kind of kick the can down the road a little bit. I agree. But, yeah, I think that we need to set what the expectation is from our perspective. And if the city thinks that they need additional staff, then they will bring that to us. So that being said, I mean, my time, I spent one day, half a day with Brandon and went out and took a look at things, kind of looked into it. I reached out to a few.
Brandon is the code enforcement officer, not me. Me and Bill weren't just riding around looking in the
You know,
city. We have a few Brandons at the city.
Yes, we do. We have
Yeah.
too many.
Kind of, because I wanted to know myself, you know, what we look for and that type of thing. And what I found real comforting was, at least, or impressed with, was I mean, he's taken the training, he's on track for that. You know, even during the hurricane that blew through that kind of knocked him off kilter, he's still trying to get approved, and there's certain levels, and he's working his way up. And you know, it spends the time looking around. I talked with Greg. Greg's his supervisor, Assistant Chief Warnock, excuse me. And you know, our city's growing. The cities that I reached out to on similar size and population, you know, it ranged. I mean, from, hey, we have you know, we have one that does it, and then we have city staff that kind of fill in. You know, I reached out to some that said, you know, yeah, I have a supervisor and a somebody else, and he is definitely working on and going to move up to that level that Keith talked about, the level 2 and level 3 or whatever. He should be moving up to that. So, you know, I'm not saying we don't need one. I mean, I'm saying that we're going to need one. It needs to be budgeted for at some point. I just don't know what the expectation is. I think we need to find out what we're missing, and if we think we need one now, that's a different story. That's just, in my point of view, is that I'm not sure that we need one right now.
And I think we all agree that Brandon's doing a fantastic job, and no one's trying to say that he's not. He's doing a great job, but he's only one. And as I remember back when we talked about this in January, I think I walked away with the directive was to Danny that, you know, please include this in the budget for this year, that we wanted to add a code enforcement.
It is in the budget.
Thank you. So we're good.
Okay, so,
Understood.
Right.
Understood.
okay. So then it is in,
Exactly.
all right, so then it is in the budget, which is what we were.
Don't ask
Let me
me, ask the
clarify
budget
that.
guy.
It's a placeholder. Doesn't mean it's going to be approved. That's up to
Right.
y'all. Yes.
And we vote on that in July,
June.
June?
Yep.
Okay. So June it will be official.
If it's
If we approve
if
it.
it balances, I mean, it's before raising taxes, anything like that, but yes. I have it as a vacant,
Stop saying those words.
well, when
But
you
we
add
s-
150,000,
We have to vote on it before.
We have to vote on the
Yes.
thing, but he's saying now that he has worked it into the budget.
Yeah,
as a
but,
new
so when are we
position.
gonna vote, is my question.
June.
We're voting
Go
in
ahead.
June?
For the budget. It's-
Oh, no, I mean
got
for
Jeff
the
coming
code
out.
enforcement
It's already
officer.
included in the budget at this point.
But it has to be approved.
Well, when he goes to balance things out for the budget, if it meets within that balanced budget, then it will stay in there.
So you're not saying subject to our approval?
He's saying approval of the budget.
Yeah, y'all would have
We
to
have to approve the budget that he is
Yes.
putting
The
it in.
budget, but we don't have to approve the code enforcement because it's already in there. Just to make sure I'm not confused on all
What I'm
this.
saying is, when I get down to balancing the budget, I have to present y'all a balanced budget, and I don't know, because he's already requested 4 officers plus the code enforcement. I can tell you that right now, it's not gonna be at the current millage rate. So you're either gonna have to say, increase the millage or reduce the budget.
Oh,
That's
that's
just-
another whole story.
You're looking at $600,000.
I was gonna ask if the chief got any other.
So he may not get 4 police officers, you may get 1. That's what the budget's
We just
about.
spent a police
Now,
salary
we,
on a bucket truck.
y'all surely, I know y'all all agree, we need police officers more
Yes.
than we need. So Danny, can you tell us kind of definitively? No?
I think what I'm
I've
hearing is
only
we're
done
not
the
getting another
personnel
code
as far as the
enforcement
budget.
officer.
What's that?
I think what I'm hearing is we're not getting another code enforcement officer.
No. What I'm saying is it's in the budget, but I have not done balanced budget yet. They're still doing, I'm accepting requests from department heads as we speak.
Which you adjust quite often, right? But I just don't want to take away police officers for a code enforcement officer, because to me, that's not even That's a
No,
moot
but,
point.
I mean, I don't want to start getting off in the weeds here about other stuff, but, I mean, we just spent $150,000 on a bucket truck, that's a police officer, which was more important to me as a police officer, but we want to put a bucket truck out there, but okay. So there's going to be things
that makes
on the budget,
sense.
there's going to be things in the budget that we're going to look at, we're going to go, "Pfft, we don't need that. I would rather have a police officer, that's more important to me." So we're just gonna have to, this is gonna be a budget that we're gonna really have to look, because I'm not gonna raise the millage rate, not considering what the county just did to everybody.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well.
So we're
this
gonna
is-
have to
yeah,
cut our
we don't wanna
budget.
do that.
Yeah, the millage rate's
Saying
not an option.
What I think y'all need to understand is y'all's request is do a code enforcement. I'm gonna do everything in my power to make a code enforcement
Right.
work. But I cannot sit here and tell you on March 9th that there will be no increase. I don't know that. I'm just being honest with you.
And you know, for years, we've said, we need to do this, we need to do that, because we need more staff, because we've got more houses, we've got more business, we've got more of everything, but we have never added a code enforcement officer for as long as I've been doing this. And I think we're at the point where we need to double up on that and get some more citations out there and get some things cleaned up.
I say maybe we let Jeff speak. He's been waiting patiently at the podium here for a little while.
Hello, Jeff.
You ready, Jeff?
I'm very comfortable, Mayor. I can stay here. One of the things I would ask council to consider as we move forward in this discussion with code enforcement is the status of your code. Because the code enforcement officer is there to enforce your code. So my question is, do you have a solid thought process as to what exactly in your code you want the code enforcement officer to enforce? And have you taken a look at your code? We don't have an extensive code like some other cities do, like Councilmember Colquitt's familiar with. We don't have that in Loganville, and I'm not saying that we should or should not. But I would say that as you consider adding code enforcement officers, their whole purpose is to enforce your code. And ask yourselves, what is it in our code that we need him or her to enforce? And do we need to take a look at our code? Because that's where it starts. You have to have a good code for a code enforcement officer to enforce. So I would just ask, as you move forward with that train of thought about code enforcement here in the city, is you take a look at that as you move forward.
Thank you.
Yep, fair
Good
enough.
advice,
Yep.
Jeff, good advice.
All right. Does that satisfy the needs for a discussion, Melanie?
That did. Thank you.
All right.
The last thing is, if any of y'all are following what's going on under the Gold Dome, I found one that pertains to my committee here of public safety, and it's House Bill 295. This is just a packet again, take it home, read over it, look through it. What 295 basically is, and it's already passed, and it's been crossed over, it crossed over on March the 4th. I think it's gonna pass. And what that, basically, from what I interpret, and we'll ask Paul in just a second, what I interpret that is, for cities that are not enforcing, back to your point, Jeff, about what codes we have, what regulations we have, cities that are not enforcing, for lack of a better word, everybody seems to be calling it urban camping. For cities that are not enforcing that, they can, moving forward, if this passes, would be sued for damages, loss of property value, and things like that, if their local government is not enforcing their urban camping laws. And so I just want everybody, well, let's just have a discussion about that. We just take it home with you, look at it. We can talk about it Thursday. We can talk about it next month. I'm in no hurry. I just want to bring it up, make y'all aware of it. But I would like to, if y'all are comfortable with it after looking at it, have Paul start looking into us having an urban camping ordinance. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Any thoughts on
Writing it?
writing what?
An urban camping law, and here you can have my copy.
I don't know what an urban camping law is.
Yeah, well, I think we all do.
In some
I think we do.
So I do know that we talked about previously, we talked about the issue of of homelessness and folks in city parks and those sort of things. I think we dug into that a couple of years ago. So again, I'll be happy to research anything you want me to,
Okay.
but this is the first I've heard of House Bill 295 or wanting to draft an
Okay.
urban camping law. But I do know that there's been significant litigation in that world, and I think it's the Oregon case, went up to the Supreme Court, dug into that pretty deeply. So I'll do whatever y'all want me to do. I don't know the status of this bill, don't know whether or not it'll pass or not.
Right.
But if it passes and there's something that you want us to look into passing, we certainly can. But I will caution you, as I think we did a couple of years ago when this came up, is that your public right-of-ways are public right-of-ways, including your parks. And so while you certainly can regulate them, folks' housing status isn't going to be a basis on which you can regulate them. Now, you can regulate them that they can't be used at night, those sort of things, but we'll be happy to look at it. But I'm not familiar with an urban camping law.
Well, I'm just,
in
two
particular.
examples that were given was the city of Savannah and the city of Conyers. Savannah defines urban camping as sleeping, storing belongings, making fires, cooking, or using tents and shelters in public space without permission, prohibits camping, storing personal property, and interfering with ingress, egress on public property, sidewalks, parks, and under bridges. City of Conyers has a pretty strict one, and but if House Bill 295, it's already crossed over. If it becomes, then city municipalities are gonna be held responsible if they're not enforcing these things.
I got the idea, Melanie, and I
Yeah.
could be wrong because I hadn't studied it like you
Right.
have.
Well, I haven't,
But I got the idea, Paul, it was more for personal property.
Property.
For example, if the value of your property decreased, personal property, as a result of some of this activity, then you could, I guess, sue the city for not cleaning it up is what the bottom line of that whole thing was. But now that could change 10 zillion times
It
before
could.
it is written.
again, I'm just bringing this to
But I
y'all's
think,
attention.
did you get that out of it? It was more if your personal property's value decreased but as a result of
Right.
this.
And the more you have it around your town, the more our property values are gonna go down.
Right.
All right,
And
if-
so if we don't have something stringent, like Jeff was talking about a while ago, what do we have if people enforce? If we don't have something that enforces, and then the city gets sued because we're not enforcing it, because we don't have it, it's this big circle. I
It
just
is a
wanna make
circle.
sure that we're proactive in
covered.
this, that we're not chasing something, we're ahead of the ball, we're not behind the ball. I just wanna make sure we've looked into it.
If I could speak from experience, when we're talking about the private property and the urban camping, they get onto a piece of property, it may be inhabited, it may not, I've had it happen on both. The property owner is ultimately responsible for the cleanup of that property. Police is usually the ones that are taking on the responsibility for enforcing urban camping, but then usually code enforcement comes behind and gives the property owner notice that this has happened, now they have X amount of time to clean it up. I've had some areas where it's cost up to $30,000 to clean up some of this stuff, so it's a touchy thing.
is, it
So,
is.
just wanted to put that out there.
Anyway, so those are the only items I had, unless there's further discussion. That was all I had tonight. I just gave y'all a couple things to think about, take home, look at it. We can discuss it, or we can throw it in the trash. That's just making you aware of some of the things that are out there.
I'd like to explore a solution.
I would too.
I'm happy with exploring any solutions that you want me to, but I just need clarity on what it is that you want, because right now you're talking about a bill that hasn't been passed, so it's not law, and it relates to, I guess, again, this is the first I've heard of it tonight. We'll research anything you want us to, but we need to know what you want us to research. I can't give you opinions on the fly. So if what you're telling me is you want us to research sort of, I'm trying to remember what we did a couple of years ago. It was an issue of park hours, if I recall. I know the chief was involved, and I mean, we can go back and dig into that. So are you wanting to address the issue of folks being on public property during certain hours with personal property? I mean, what is it that you want us to look into drafting and bringing before you for your consideration.
I don't know what we can or can't do. This is all news. I don't know. I just know that we have people living in tents in various areas around the city. And if you ask me, things like that will invite crime.
All right, and so then go into what Keith was saying. Let's get clear. Folks living in tents around the city on private property, or folks living in tents around the city on your public domain? Because those are two very different things.
I'm going to assume, from what I've seen, I'm going to assume it's private.
Okay, so then if it's private, then the regulation of that private land is going to be couched within the four corners of your zoning ordinance and other codes that are in play now. So that's one thing versus what I thought I heard us talking about was basically overnight sleeping or existing sort of almost in perpetuity on public domains like Savannah that has public parks and folks sleeping in the park for days on end. So I mean, if that's what urban camping is, so that's a much different thing than pitching a tent and camping on private property. Now, pitching a tent and camping on private property without permission, that's a pretty easy one. That's a trespass, right? And then pick up the phone and call Chief Lowry and ask him to address it from a criminal violation standpoint. So I just want to make sure that we're clear on what it is that y'all want to try and regulate. Is it the pitching of tents and sleeping in tents on private property, or the pitching in tents or sleeping out in the open on public property?
I would think that a lot of these people that own this, if it's private property, they don't realize that people are doing this on their property because they don't live on the property. It's just woods. And I think you're probably going to tell me it's up to that property owner to tell them to leave or to stay, allow them to do this or not.
Yeah, so I mean, then the question becomes, is it a posted property or not, right? So
Right.
is there no trespassing or not? Is there no trespassing sign in a posted property? Is the owner requesting assistance from law enforcement? Has a bar notice been issued? All those sorts of things. So, I mean, that is one path that I guess is a concern. And then there's another path, which is your public domains, properties that the city owns and controls for the benefit of the citizens, and regulating the use of those.
What I want to make sure is that our officers have every tool in their tool bag to remove a nuisance or a whatever, whether it be from personal property. So our ordinance, or our regulations and everything such that they're able to remove somebody. I mean, there's a whole tent city over there right now next to Banco ZK. There's one behind Ingles, there's one behind Home Depot, and everybody turns a blind eye to that. But that is inviting crime with your drugs, your other things that are happening. It's bringing a lot of trash, unsanitary conditions.
It does invite crime, and I'm not turning a blind eye to it. And you can tell, because you can see little pathways going into the woods, and there's always trash everywhere around that area.
But I want to make sure that our officers have the tools, that they're protected legally, that the city's protected legally, that we can remove these folks, and both in public and in private. So I know that's two separate things, so I want to make sure.
So if it relates to private land, and those are violations of your zoning ordinances, which if they're on commercial property, they most certainly are, those regulations are probably already in place, most likely. I don't know, I'll speak with staff. But you're circled back to the same issue that you were just talking about. Then you need a code enforcement officer to be able to enforce the code, right? So if there's tents for sleeping quarters on private property that's zoned commercial, without even looking at your zoning ordinance, I can tell you, because y'all don't really have much mixed-use zoning allowed, right? That temporary housing is not going to be permitted on your on that property. So you've already got those regulations in place.
So then
It's a question of whether or not you have the staffing to be able to handle that.
As someone recently told me when I had this conversation about a lot of things, is we don't have a ordinance problem, we have an enforcement problem. And that's probably where it goes, is enforcing what our existing rules.
And I think that's probably 100% accurate as to the issue of enforcing your zoning regulations, but I think then the point becomes taken that Councilmember Wolf just brought up. I'd rather have cops than code enforcement officers. And so, I mean, that's a direction for y'all to take with your city administration. We'll dig into the ordinances for you. But what I think you're wanting to regulate, you already have the authority and the ability to do.
And yes, but what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Because if we allow these things to happen, you're just inviting crime out here, and it's trash, and it's not a good look, and then you're going to need more police officers to take care of the crime that comes with it, that it creates. And I'm all about making us a safer city and not putting the burden on the police officers to go out and have to walk through the woods and try to find these tent cities and get rid of them.
May I just read something, Paul, that may help, that's in this packet? Melanie the bill targets local governments that may have pervasive, systemic, or organized practices that decline to enforce laws against illegal public camping, loitering, drug possession, shoplifting, or the state's ban on sanctuary policies. That's probably what all this is about. That limit cities from working with federal immigration authorities. If cities or counties are found liable, property owners can sue for financial harm from lost property value. That's the gist of this bill, if that helps in any way.
Again, it doesn't, because y'all asked me to opine on a bill that's proposed that currently isn't Georgia law that I just learned about 30 minutes ago. I've been doing this for 25 years. I'm not going to give you a legal opinion off the fly on something that I know nothing about, that I've never seen, that you're just now bringing before me. You know, when we started this efforts about 3 years ago, I told you that the better way to process things is to let's talk about them, then let's bring them back before you the next month so that we can take time. Now, obviously, there's always emergencies, and there's also laws that mandate that we have to do things within 30 days, 45 days. But if you don't have an emergency, then taking your time and passing it once versus passing it multiple times and cleaning up along the way is going to be better. So I'll be happy to dig into this and give you my answers and let you know. But I know nothing about House Bill 295 because I certainly don't have the time or the resources to track every proposed bill that's currently pending down at the Gold Dome.
That's the first I've seen this tonight,
Yeah,
too.
and
And I'm
that's
on
not-
your page as far as what you
Right.
said, the latter of the conversation, what you just said. Take the time, let's
Yes.
dig into it.
I agree. I just wanted to make y'all aware of a situation that's out, and it's a situation whether this bill passes or not. It's just a conversation we need to have. It's a hard conversation to have. But we've gotta have the conversations if we wanna keep our city safe and clean. And if we want people to come here, who wants to go in somewhere where it's got a lot of problems? But anyway, so that's all I have.
Agree.
I think that was enough. Thank you.
All right.
You did good, Melanie.
Man, went from the shortest section to the longest section in no time. All right. Up next is Public Utilities Committee.
No, my section's shorter, so
Oh, good. Thank you.
thank you. I don't have anything.
I mean, it's all good conversation. I know I'm poking fun, but it's all in good humor. It's not to say anything was done wrong. Oh, my bad. All right, so then we got the Facilities Committee report. That'd be
Okay,
Wes.
it's been brought to my attention that we have some remodels for PD, as well as 16, as well as 15 and 18. It comes up to $188,000, $463 that we'll be spending. Dustin, did you want to kind of go over a few things of what you have, and then we'll discuss it after that on the stations and police department?
What questions do you have, Wes?
Okay, on some of the bids and stuff, I've been going through some of those. Some of them are pretty detailed, but some of them are to the point to where it kind of raises my eyebrow about a few things. And I want to thank you, Paul, for what you just said a while ago. You kind of helped me with what I needed to say. Sometimes when we have projects that come up, they need to be discussed. And I feel like the time period that we received this, I received this on Wednesday. That's when I got this information. I don't think we've had adequate time to make a firm decision. I feel like we need to put eyes on the ground and see some of these projects that's going on, and kind of see what's going on in the buildings. It opens the door for city council to be a part of that, to kind of let them be a part of what all's going on in some of these buildings. So I'm recommending that we table some of this where we can actually get out there and look at it and see if we may find some things that may not have been covered or things that we could do better. It's not to be negative, it's not to be trying to pull anybody down, but it's to open the door for other people to look and see what's going on, that we may need to make some changes and some revamps. So don't take it as a negative, take it as a positive.
I'm not
It
taking
opens the door is what I'm trying to say.
But you say as far as covering our bases, this has
Yes.
been going on for several months now.
I just found out about it
And I
Wednesday.
understand that, but what I've done, I did a scope of work, so it was all
Sure,
apples for
sure.
apples.
Absolutely.
So what y'all did see was covered,
Yeah.
literally, is everything. I mean, I don't know what else we could not cover on the interior, minus new equipment for like ACs. I don't know any other questions y'all have, but that's the gist of it. It's flooring, paint, walls.
Well, I do have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Chris Corbin, Home Improvements, his quote is for $137,450.59, and it says right in there that an electrician's gonna remove all the lights and upgrade the LED and all that, but I don't have a quote from an electrician, because Lifeway, they're doing all their own electrician work. So where's the quote for the electrician? Because it says he's not gonna do it, that an electrician's gonna be doing that work.
Lifeway will be subbing a electrical contractor also. They just, different quotes. To
Right.
be honest with you, one has a fancier software system than the other.
Right, but I mean, but,
As far as the breakdown, if you look at both quotes now, they are apples for apples. But I'd rather have you write it, that's up to them. But both quotes got covered all items, I should say. It's, as far as Ms. Corbin, he was a contractor we had used last year for the PD upgrades. He was already reliable. You know, he's done a good job for us in the past. That's why I recommended Mr. Corbin. And he was a lower bid.
Did you go out, Dustin, and actually come up with a list of what was needed?
Yes, ma'am. we,
Okay, so you were very much involved in the,
For months now, yes. ma'am.
Okay,
This has been
okay, I
an ongoing
just-
project. This is a request from Mr. Johnson, the chief there. I mean, I personally don't live there or stay there. This is not to say that we haven't made any repairs. All we're saying is like, the bare instance, you know, Station 15 is 1998 when it was built. It may have had some wall paint and, you know, lights replaced through the years. To say it's ever been remodeled or brought back up anew, never. That's our oldest one.
okay.
I'm sorry. Station 16 is 2006. There again, it's had some paint, a few light bulbs replaced. Other than that, no upgrade.
Let me ask you another question, maybe you can help me, because when I look at this, you looked at it and you know what you've asked for and what you're getting. I look at it and I don't see that.
Got it.
I see like 3 or 4 different quotes for roofing. One's using a 29 gauge, one uses a 24 gauge, one uses a this, one's quoting shingles. So we got all, you can't compare apples with apples when nobody's quoting the same gauge steel.
Yes, ma'am, I have several metal quotes.
Right.
One particular of those quotes came back with a different gauge, ridge, they called it. But when I went out and said contractors came, it was a list. I wanted a shingle TPO replacement, which is theirs now, and a metal option with a TPO replaced, because if you're gonna do half up, you might as well do the whole roof. And the only reason we wanted the metal, obviously, because it's 15 and 16 already have metal roofs. We have no issues out of them.
Correct.
If we're gonna upgrade it, why not do a metal option?
Right, because you're looking at a 40-year warranty.
But as far as that,
over-
ma'am, I have 4 quotes.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, they're all different.
No, they were all pretty much the same,
No, I'm
minus
talking
one.
about the gauge. the
Yes,
different-
ma'am. the
And
metal
that's gonna make a
gauge.
huge difference in
And the only
price.
comment I have on that, honestly, I'm not a roofer, ma'am. One of them, when I asked, he said it was a different gauge metal. And I guess That is a thing in metal roofs.
It is, because the larger the number, the thinner the metal.
ma'am.
So you've got a 29 gauge, a 24 gauge, and a 25 gauge. And so when you start looking at the cost of those, again, in terms of doing a quote, you're not comparing apples with apples on that. And that's what I was just trying to find out, why we didn't just, okay, pick a gauge and everybody quote the same gauge. And are you quoting metal versus the shingles, or is part of the roof shingles and part of the roof is metal?
All 4 quotes were for shingle TPO replacements from all 4 contractors and a metal TPO option from all 4 contractors. One of those said contractors threw a loop with a different gauge roof.
Okay.
It's $78,000. There's an obviously reason that particular roof has a different gauge. We didn't choose it. It was the high bid. Other than that, they should be apples for apples on all the quotes. Down to, it's a little different roof because it's, when we say TPO, it's like the rubber membranes on the roof here at City Hall. It has kind of like an armpit on 18. In the center of it, all the equipment sits in there. It has leaked like a sieve in corners through the years, rubber patches here and there. It just needs a roof.
Is there any active leaks currently?
Oh, yes, sir.
And which
Yes, sir.
ones?
I mean, you can look at the base ceiling and
You just see it.
it's just scarred.
So the longer that leaks, the more damage
Yes,
it's
sir.
gonna cause.
Yes, sir. I mean, if anything, if we was to do, I mean, we're gonna touch a remodel, I would say we definitely need a roof on 18.
Okay. Would y'all be okay if I got Chief up here to talk about it from the fireman's perspective?
Absolutely, yes.
Please come up here. Chief Johnson?
So Roof Lab gave a 29 gauge for tough rib, and Legacy gave the same quote for a tough rib, which is the same. So it was 44,000 for Roof Lab, and Legacy's tough rib metal was 33,000. So that is the same gauge thickness. Because I had to Google it, because it didn't say 29 gauge. I had to Google it, that model.
Chief, can you give us a background on why this is needed?
Sure. First, good evening, Mayor and Council. Good to see y'all. Fire stations they're not immune to weather and wear and tear, just like your homes are. If you don't upkeep them, you don't replace things from time to time, they start having problems. As Dustin said, Station 18, you can walk in the bay where we park a $700,000 fire truck underneath the sheetrock, and the seams are all the tapes fell down from the seams from the water damage and things of that nature. There's no reason to replace sheetrock or joints if you don't stop the leak. That roof, particularly that station, has given us problems with water damage. Not long after it was built, the water came through the cement block on the side of the building because the contractor didn't seal it properly. So we've had a lot of issues with water damage in that station. Not only the water damage, you have leaking things in the walls. These are government city-owned buildings, but they're also firemen's homes. I mean, they live there for 24 hours at a time, and they sleep there. And just like with your home, if you have water damage, you can also expect mold if it goes untreated or unfixed. So, that's the reason for it. Like he said, the stations do have some age to them, and very little has been done as far as the main structure of the buildings. Station 16 down at Tomburg Road was built by Walton County, and it has the original flooring in it, which we strip and repolish routinely. However, with settling, you get cracks and things of that nature. That just invites for termites, varmints, just anything to come in. So, I realize it's a good number to look at. However, these stations have went for a very long time without any major renovations or repairs done to them.
So does that go a long way in retention of employees and firemen if you have better sleeping quarters and stuff for them as well, or are they just chasing the money?
No, I mean, you know, they want to feel like their employer cares about the sleeping conditions and the living conditions that they're required to live in, so.
Chasing money, what money?
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's probably a bad choice of words, 'cause I know.
They don't get, yeah.
They don't get as much. as
Now,
they
we
should. I get
probably
that.
need to give them some money, but yeah.
Mayor, I think kind of where I'm going, I'm trying to open the door to allow city council to have the opportunity to walk into some of these facilities, to take a look and see how they're living and their work environments. That's kind of why I'm pushing this issue, is to kind of open the door and to involve city council for a welcome to do a walkthrough. That's kind of where I'm going with this issue.
I think some of us that have done the nickel tour with Danny have gone through a lot of the buildings in the past. It has been probably 4 years since I've been through a lot of these buildings. I know we talked about it when we did our first meeting. I talked about, you know, please, if you're new or if you ever, anybody who's not new, please talk with Danny about doing a tour of a lot of our facilities so y'all can, you know, get a look so you kind of know what you're going, because Danny even took me to pump stations and stuff like that. So,
That's a
it
joy.
sounds like some of this work might be more pressing, because the longer it delays, the more expensive it could be later on down the road. I'm not saying, I wouldn't like to table it personally, this is just me.
I
And I
understand.
know it is up to council. A whole month, maybe if we could find time, the ones who haven't been to the fire stations and stuff yet, maybe have time to go before Thursday's meeting to take a look and talk, because I believe Dustin also would probably want to go with you through some of
Oh,
that as well,
absolutely.
to show off, or to show what's going on, if you need a,
Just know that, I know the contractor's quotes, they'll hold on to them.
they will hold on to them.
For the most part, I don't have to speak for Chris, I know the others, but these roof quotes will all have to be redone, because it, you know, they'll have. some
Yeah,
production
metal
months, just
is
know this
different
will all
based on the day.
Four contractors, and, I mean, we can do it, and I'll do anything else up to it. But in my world, the more I quote and don't give or call back, the less I get, shall I say, friendliness, let's just leave it there.
Yeah, Danny, how much splash money do we still have currently in the process for these remodels? That's why I'm trying to open the door a little bit more. Maybe we can do some more work. That's kind of what direction I'm trying to go.
We have covered it from soup to nuts, sir.
Yeah.
I don't know what else we're gonna do inside, that's what I'm trying to do.
$1 million? Okay. So we have $1 million to work with, so the door is open, and I'm trying to open the door for encourage to walk through those buildings to see if we need to make any more additional enhancements.
Well, I think Dustin's done a great job. I think if there was anything else, Dustin would have put it in the report. And then as they go through, I'm sure if they find anything else, then that will be added to Dustin. He can come back before us.
Some of this money is contingency money.
Yeah.
I hope we don't touch it, but if we do run into something, or maybe a minor change, the money will be there if y'all see.
You never know when you open up a wall or a roof, what you're gonna
That's right.
find.
And to be quite honest, sir, we're not open walls.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what this
well-
is, it is turnkey brand new, it's gonna be the flooring, ceiling tiles, to the grid, you know, it's literally when you walk in the station, it will be a brand new station. 15, 16. I don't know how else to say it, I mean, other than like the AC equipment and maybe some kitchen equipment these gentlemen use, I don't know what else you would replace. This is literally all the lighting, vents, hand doorknobs, flooring, thresholds, paint. I mean, I think we've covered it, unless y'all see something else that y'all would like to add.
Was there anything that you could think of, Wes, that you would like to add?
That's why I want to open the door for us to walk through and see if we identify or there's any other options that may kind of catch our eye. I'm just trying to open the door for us to walk through. Danny just stated that we have $1 million to work with. And how long is that good for, Danny? Forever? And when does it run out? What's our, I know, but do we have a time limit, is what I'm trying to say.
I think it's safe to say that, you know, Dustin didn't go there and say, I'm gonna do this. This came from the fire department. So
Sure.
There's nobody knows more than the people that live there. That's where I think the
Believe me, the
message is getting
fire,
lost.
the fire department is wanting this much more than me.
Sure.
And the fire department is happy with
Yes,
these
sir.
upgrades. They're not,
And-
y'all aren't asking for anything
And some of this, y'all hadn't
extra.
even mentioned, like Chief Lowry's here also, some of this literally is kind of leftover stuff that didn't get done at the PD from, you know, the last projects. We've got 4 officers just sitting idle that I'm sure he's wanting to do something with. And it's as simple as just making them do so Chief can do something with them.
Yeah.
This was thrown in there because of SPLOST money, and then there again, if we're gonna do it, I want to do all of it. So we literally went station to station, each room, measured what needs to be done, what can be done. And that's when we walked out. That's, you know,
Good.
there again, if you want me to spend $1 million in the police department, I'm sure I could find something to build.
According to what we have
Like
between
a new fire station,
Yes,
right?
ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Chief Johnson, is there anything that you feel that we need to add to this list? And be honest, this is your time to speak, as well as you, Chief Lowry, as well.
Easy now.
3 brand-new stations, strategically placed throughout the city.
Within reason. This is your
No, I mean,
opportunity.
we did go through it, and, you know, the only thing that is on my radar for the fire department, which I'm working on getting quotes for, that may possibly be a SPLOST item at a later time, depending on when I get the quotes back, is backup generators for 2 of the
That's what I was
stations.
gonna ask next.
I've met with the generator contractors.
Sure.
And gotten them the peak usage that they needed to build us a generator for that size station. And I'm waiting to hear back from them. So I do have that in the works. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, it costs a lot of money to maintain it, to have it, but when the calls run out and it's in the middle of an ice storm, you kind of need it.
Sure.
So that is something that that I've been working on for quite some time to try to get for the stations. One station, Station 18 in Gwinnett County, does have a backup generator that runs the entire station. So, and it's natural gas fed both ways. So when the power goes out over there, they don't miss a beat.
Okay.
It runs every single thing in the station. So all the HVAC, all the lights, all the networking, bay doors, everything. Those bay doors are heavy to man up by yourself, you know, just when the power goes out. But it is needful in an emergency building. And I will say, in considering this, that, you know, these are city buildings that, you know, is open to the public. They come in all the time for blood pressure checks, and the condition of the building is the representative of the city.
So you feel real good about everything that we're doing so far, right? You're good with it,
Yes, sir.
right? Okay, that's all I need to know. Chief Lowry?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. What ours is, as Dustin said, when this is kind of the second half and we put it off because it could be put off, and it's time to do it. So when the health department relocated out of the building that we're in, then we took that area, we took out some walls and created a much larger evidence storage space first. And then we came back, Dustin did, and it was Mr. Corbin that did the project and did a tremendous job in that health department area. We remodeled all of those exam rooms, which wasn't as simple as just repainting them. They had, you know, like medical storage cabinets, sinks, all those kind of things, and the detectives don't need or want a sink in their office. So all of that had to come out. Once that project was done, then we moved the detectives upstairs. A lot of that is for the way that it was set up. If they had a victim, say for example, a sexual assault victim, they gotta walk through the middle of everybody in the police department to get to a detective's office or interview room. Now they can go straight upstairs and go straight in there on the elevator without ever coming into the main part of the building. The offices that they've moved out of downstairs would be, and it's really not, I hate to use the word remodel, we're not changing any walls, basically freshening up those offices, painting them, flooring, things like that, so that each of the 4 patrol shifts, the lieutenant and the sergeant will have an office that they'll use. Now, they're all trying to use one office and have 8 people stuff in one office, and it's not a very large office, and it doesn't work very well. So since we have that space available, that's what we're gonna do with it. And Dustin, we've been looking at this a long time, quite a long time. We walked through, what about this, what about that? And to be frank, the hallways downstairs have been painted since I've been here, but paint jobs don't last very long on walls inside a police department. I don't care whose police department it is, because as these guys walk down the hall with all this stuff around them, you will notice that the scuffs on the walls exactly coincide with their holsters and all that kind of thing. So that needs to be done. To my knowledge, the majority of that flooring that's there, we did recarpet one small area right where the administrative ladies sit. That carpet didn't last quite as long as I hoped it would have, and that's been a number of years ago now. So all of that is included in laminate flooring that will last much, much longer. The inside of these offices, I've been here 19 and a half years, to my knowledge, they've never been painted. So
Okay.
that's how some of
So
this
you
is.
feel
Just
good
you for
with
an upgrade.
everything we're doing, right?
I
You don't-
believe so, yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes,
I
sir.
just wanted to hear y'all through. I wanted to open the floor where you could speak out
now-
and speak on behalf of your departments.
Danny will tell you, if you give me the opportunity to
Oh, I
spend
know.
some more SPOS
Oh,
money,
yeah.
I will. But no, this is
Yeah.
pretty much a total.
So sometimes when we do these conversations, it's good that we open up the floor
Yeah.
like that, because we want our directors and our chiefs
Yes.
to have input, and that's why I did what I did. So I wanted to open the floor where
Yes.
you could,
No,
Let us know.
we've been
Thank
involved
you.
with it from the beginning,
Yeah.
and I think it covers everything that we've talked about, yes, sir.
well, if the rest of the council is good with it, feel good with it as long as they're good with it.
So you don't want a table?
Well, I mean,
You're okay?
our chiefs have backed up and brought it very clear to us that they're happy with all the decisions, so.
Well, and
appreciate
Dustin,
that.
he's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
old country boy. He don't lie.
Yeah.
Y'all have any other questions?
Yeah, well, thank y'all so much for what you do, so, and thank you for bringing that to our attention. Yeah.
Thank y'all so much.
All right, the next one is gonna be,
Wait, what are we gonna do with this?
Do we want to put that on consent, or do you want to vote on that on Thursday?
we heard them, let's go ahead and put it to vote.
Yeah, want to put it on consent tonight?
I do, absolutely, put it on.
I'm good, I'm good with consent.
I'm good with consent.
Okay with consent? Sure. So that's now on consent.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, the next one is going to be the parks. I met with Jeff Smith regarding these matters, and I had asked Mr. Smith to kind of give us a little small presentation. We do have splash money, and we were concerned from pulling from Gwinnett back into Loganville. And Jeff, could we actually, did you ever get an answer if Gwinnett would allow for us to do that on the parks?
So Mayor and Council, there is a possibility of using Gwinnett SPOS under a formula based on the number of persons in the city who reside in Gwinnett County. It's certainly not going to, we won't be able to pull a total amount out of Gwinnett SPOS, but we could potentially pull some. If everything that we've done in the past with Gwinnett holds true, we should be able to pull some.
Sure.
As you know, Toddler Park, we were looking into renovating that park, making it ADA accessible, perhaps adding some stimulus items in there for children with autism. That went out to bid. The bids came back. The lowest responsive bidder came in at $715,065. Actually, that's with a 5% contingency. The bid was $681,014. Once we have the contingency, that's $715,065. We do have money in the 2019 Walton SPLOST, and we are collecting money in the 2025 Walton SPLOST, but that won't be fully funded for some time. I also would be remiss if I didn't remind that we've got a commitment to Walton County for pickleball courts at Meridian Park up to $200,000. So that's going to have to come from Walton SPLOST somewhere. We have, as an alternative, we've spoken with the engineers. We have much more money sitting in our Gwinnett County SPLOST funds. We have asked the engineers to look at the option of putting an ADA park such as what was envisioned here at Destination Park, which would be on the Gwinnett County side, and look at that as a potential alternative for placement. And of course, that would require us to get new bids and everything.
If I could, council, I went by the park last weekend. I took some photos, if I could pass those around to everybody.
That's key.
And while I like the idea of upgrading the park, I'm thinking $500,000, it's a lot. You know, and there's some things, if you look at the prices, you know, $3,000 to $4,000 for a lounge chair. There's some things that we could probably drop out of here. So I would just ask that you look at the pictures. There could be some touch-ups that could be done. There probably needs to be a couple of new pieces, but I think you go in with some paint, some landscaping, some pressure washing. We could save a good bit of money on this project.
I want to say two things. One is, and I've mentioned this several times, you can pay somebody to do this, or you can go direct to the playground companies. I called the playground company Friday, Playcore, and they do come out and do site visits. They'll design it. They'll let you pick out the surface, the playground equipment. They'll install it. You pick out what kind of install you want. Self-install, supervised install, or they'll do it all. And then when I look at these, some of the areas we could save money on, it's like this, the drinking fountain with a bottle filling station is $14,000 for one drinking fountain. I mean, that thing must be gold plated. That's, and then trash receptacles, that's another $13,000 for just 2 trash cans. So I think, yeah, to me, there's some ways to maybe do it a little different, where you buy some of this equipment direct. And a lot of these things, these picnic tables are all bolted together. I think we could do some of it in-house. And I don't know if part of the plan is to take some of the picnic tables that we have over at 254 Main, are we going to use those here?
So there's, part of the discussion for tonight is whether or not council wishes to proceed with the lowest bid. The company or the engineers that we worked with in putting this together for bid have offered to do some value engineering to take out some lounge chairs or trash receptacles, things like that, look for where we could get better value as opposed to the bids that were submitted.
Well, I don't think I'm saying buy a cheaper trash can or value engineered trash can. I'm just saying that we're paying that's a lot of money for these items here.
I don't disagree, but you know, to your point, if the council's not comfortable with some of the pricing on the individual items, the engineering company has offered to go with us through the bid and then offer some value engineering. Maybe we go with a different style that would be more cost-effective, cost less. Maybe there's a water fountain with a bottle filler that isn't gold-plated, things of that nature. So the people at Goodwood Mills and Kaywood have offered to do some value engineering options with us to help reduce the costs if council was interested in pursuing the park at that location and seeing where we could get some additional savings. We could also, investigate moving the project to Destination Park. We've got a good bit of SPOS money from Gwinnett to cover what we would like to do, but put it in a different park. We're a city that resides in 2 counties, and there's certain rules as to how we spend monies that's collected from these SPLOSTs. And as far as in parks, we have much more money available to us on the Gwinnett side that would allow us to do more. However, there is a benefit to updating or upgrading a park that's right here in the middle of town. But what we need is some direction from council as to which way you would like staff to proceed on this project. And there's several options. Yes, ma'am.
I would like to ask Lisa something as a clarifier. Or let me ask you first of all. So GMC, are they a playground equipment manufacturer or a company, or are they an engineering company?
That's trying to think of the word. Those are the people that we hired to help us with a design to go out to bid.
Okay, all right, so hold that. So let me ask you, Lisa. See, you talked to the playground equipment company. And so basically, because from what I do for a living, you get an engineer and they're gonna write all this. They're making a percentage, that's how they make their money. We're paying them to do this, but they're also making a cut off of every piece of equipment they sell. So are you suggesting that we back up and we talk to some of these playground equipment people and let them come out? They may have ideas that we haven't had. So where are you, I want to find out where you're at. Like, are you wanting
Well,
to?
this WeGo-Round piece of equipment, they're gonna buy, GMC is gonna buy it direct. No, GMC is.
GMC is the firm that we've hired to design, to
it.
engineer, to administer the contract, to supervise the contract. The company that is recommended in the packet is the company that goes out and buys the equipment and pays the subs to install it.
Which is Lanyap Development.
Yes.
And to Keith's point, it's a lot of money, so how can we find a way to do this, do the same thing, get more equipment with less money? Or stretch those SPLOST dollars out to get more stuff?
Again, our partners at GMC, who we hired in on this project, have offered to work with us and Lanyap to see how we can value engineer this.
And I'm not interested in value engineering, because I think what I would like to ask is, have you guys ever approached a playground company and said, hey, we're going to do Toddler Park? Can y'all talk to us about it? At least talk to them?
So, but it's more than just the playground equipment. It's the grading, it's the surfacing, it's
Playground, the one company I talked to Friday gives you a options of surface.
So,
and installation.
When we had the pre-bid meeting, we had representatives there from landscape architects, from contractors, we had playground equipment companies, all there together, and then some of them ended up working together and talking after the meeting. They were all showing up because each of them brings something to the table. Am I hearing you saying that to piecemeal this out? Because this was put out to bid to companies that could do the whole thing.
I understand. I'm saying if you want to save money, I can tell you just by looking at first glance, I know we did not pay $18,000 for, well, there's 4 picnic tables across the street. And this is for 2 for $18,000. So I'm saying.
I can't answer for their pricing.
I think what I'm saying is that I wish you guys would just
So-
go talk to a playground company and just kind of compare.
So what you
the
gotta
two.
understand, Lisa, the public money has to be publicly bidded. So if I call Long Playground Equipment, I gotta make sure that Rosenthal Playground Equipment sells Long Playground Equipment. It has to be apples for apples. So what they do is they say, this is what we want, the firm, GMC, and they go out to bid and say, these are it's 400-page document that went out to bid. It's not just a simple, if we're just doing a swing set, hey, we want one swing set, yeah, I could do that. I could go in there and say, hey, we want a swing set and we want y'all to install it. If it's under 100,000, I don't have to publicly bid it. Or 250 now, the law changed, thank you. So, but if it does go over a public amount of 250,000, I have to publicly bid it in an open meeting and snap bids. So that's what, we can't just go to one company and say, do it.
I understand, but you probably put that in the scope of works. If you left the equipment that you could buy direct from the playground company, and I'm talking about the simple install, I'm not talking about the we-go-rounds, I'm talking about picnic tables that are bolted together. Like if you just took that part out, you would save a ton of money in just that one little category.
And that's what we were talking about, the value engineering. There's certain things that we can pull out of the bid, reduce the cost, and if we want to procure that elsewhere or in a different manner, we can.
That's what I'm saying. Well, when you say value engineer, I think to me, it sounds like you're wanting to get a cheaper picnic table. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that these, if it's like the picnic tables across the street, you're talking about $1,100 picnic table. And these are $9,000 each.
It's a cheaper picnic table.
We had talked, Danny and I, we know the Adirondack chairs could be purchased from Lowe's, and, I mean, we pretty much wiped out that whole section by being able to go out and buy, you know. So if that's your focus, I imagine you're focused on other things too, but if that's your focus, we've pretty much, would you agree, Danny, wiped that section out with going around and purchasing from Home Depot or wherever?
I think that we probably need to refocus and look at the staff's recommendation to probably continue the discussion before any other decisions are made. So I think that we probably need to look at that and just say, please do a little more work on it.
Well, we need to know which direction. If you want to take this concept and move it to destination, we need to know that. If you want to keep the park where it's at, but see if we can't squeeze some more value out of it by lowering costs with the awarded bidder, or not the awarded bidder, but the low bidder, we can do that to see if we can't bring prices down. We just need to know which direction you would like us to go. Of course, your third option is just charge forward and
So how much more money do we have in SPOS for the Gwinnett side? Should we move it to Destination Park? Because as you're talking about this, I'm thinking about Destination Park is so much a larger park. It's got more room that this could be spread out. It's not gonna be on a little cracker box like the Toddler Park, but I don't wanna see Toddler Park get overlooked. As well, I don't wanna see Gaither Park get overlooked. We've got parks that need attention, but Destination Park might actually be a better option for such large equipment.
we've very preliminarily looked with the engineers at the space available. They got two potential options at Destination. If we choose to move forward in that direction, there is north of $900,000 in Gwinnett SPOS money
okay.
that's sitting for parks.
And how much on the Walton side?
334,310 in the 19 SPOS. We've got some already collected into the 25 SPOS. But again, that's why I also threw up the reminder that we've committed up to 200,000 for pickleball at Meridian.
Out of the Walton side.
Which has to come out of the Walton
It actually
side.
seems like Destination Park makes more sense, because once that money, that SPOS money was earmarked for parks, it has to be spent for parks.
That is correct.
And that's the only park we have in Gwinnett County, is Destination Park, is that correct?
But it can be spent anytime. I mean, we don't have to rush out.
No, we don't. I know, we don't. We don't have to rush out and do this.
We were looking initially for something in the city, because the city is our focus right now, you know, revitalizing, and the park is the most visited park of all the parks, first off, and that's, you know, and a good thing. Kyle, are you awake? Do you, do you have a picture of what it's gonna look like from the last time this topic came up, or do you save any of that in your system?
It has the,
We,
you have the overview. It's not,
Yeah,
it's
we
it's
provide
not a
visual.
color, yeah, it's the overview.
I think to see it, because when you say the large equipment, it's not large I mean, it's.
Well, a we go round sounds pretty big. That's what I'm saying compared to.
A we go round is wheelchair adapt, I mean, you can roll,
Right.
so it's not huge.
So just a few things too. I mean, so the alternate of talking about Destination Park to me is, oh, there it is. Yeah, the point of this was to upgrade Toddler Park downtown, city of Loganville, you know. And if it's coming down to a money issue, I mean, which is the issue, I get it. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, I just want to switch, you know, all the money to go to Destination Park. I mean, it's do we want to do something with Toddler or not? And we don't want to overlook Gaither Park down the road as well.
Right, but I'm sitting here, we just got done talking a minute ago how we're not gonna be able to afford police officers.
Sure.
And are we really gonna take and spend $600,000 that we'd have to take out, because we're short that, or, well, let's see, 400, $500,000 to put in there when we need police officers?
But the SPOS money can't pay for police officers.
Right, no, but I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
And I think we already had the talk a few months ago when, which initiated all this, was where do we want to put the money in which park? And the decision then was already made for Toddler Park. So if we're saying now we want to go back and consider Destination Park, then I feel like we're digressing.
I know,
Right.
but what I'm saying is, I know SPOS can't be used to pay for police officers, but we're coming up $400,000 short in the SPOS that you're gonna have to find in your budget somewhere else.
Well, you still have to account for it for a zero budget, so Danny's still gonna have to show it as a positive, so you can't go negative, so you can't.
But I'm saying
So
we'll
you
have
still
to take
have
it
to
from
show it.
somewhere else to move it over to be able to afford.
Yeah, the general
This.
fund.
How much
Unless
do you
there's more
think
money.
we'll get from Gwinnett on the per person?
if it's allowed, 140.
Okay, so that's not any tremendous amount.
No, so basically, you would be left with a need of about 340.
And is that taking into account the 200,000 we've earmarked for the pickleball courts?
That's leaving 2025 Walton Splost alone, not using any money from it, and then being able to commit that to the pickleball at Meridian.
The
So
pickleball has
bottom
not
line-
pickleball has not been earmarked for any funds currently. It's just 200,000. That can be general fund, that could be SPOS.
Oh,
So
okay.
just understand, y'all have not, it has not come to you for official vote.
Well, back to the value engineering part, I mean, cutting stuff out of it's not value engineering. But what they did say was, okay, we can remove the we-go-round and put in a spinner, Omni spinner, for a reduced price. So they saved about $60,000 by changing that. That's something, to me, that's a positive. You know, brought it down a little bit. Still up in the ballpark, so we got to decide if we're going to go forward with this big project or, you know, and accept something a little bit smaller like that.
And I've heard what the council said. I think dressing up a park that's right here in our downtown is a benefit. Benefit to the city, benefit to the citizens. When I came to work here, when I first became aware of Toddler Park, I was actually very surprised at the number of visits. You go there during the day, if it's a half-decent day, there's always people there.
We have
So
a really
it's an
big homeschool
amenity right
population.
here downtown that is used.
Well, and we got to start somewhere revitalizing downtown. And I think we're going to find out that it's going to cost money. Whatever route we choose to take, it's just a question, you know, 254 is probably going to cost, we're going to have to do some incentives or something. I mean, you know, it's just part and parcel of revitalizing the city is kind of the way I see that.
I agree with you, Patty. I just don't want to go off too in the weeds. I will, speaking of that though, if we're going to talk about economic development, if you're an outside investor and you see investments going into a place, especially into a downtown, then that makes investors more likely to want to spend their own money in that area. So for economic development side, yes, you're 100% right about that. So I don't know if the park is going to be the start of or everything that's already kind of been going on. I think it's just the ball's getting easier to push right now because we got some other stuff going on.
Jeff, let me ask you a question. Do we need a little time to look at some different avenues?
How long is this bid good for?
That's a question I can't answer right off the top of my head. But we would be backed up against that, how long the bids are good for.
Sure.
What I think I'm hearing, and I could be way off base, is that there is interest in doing the project at Toddler Park. There's just not an appetite for the cost.
Yes.
So my suggestion would be that we go back to GMC and see if we can't work with the low bidder and get those costs a little bit closer to something that would work for y'all and work with what we have available. I don't think that we're going to capture $340,000 in costs, but it may get it closer to where the council feels comfortable moving forward. Is that?
Would you want us to ballpark a number that we would feel safe with?
That sure would make our life much easier.
Say,
We can say we want to cut all this, the contractor still has to agree to it. He can say,
Yeah.
no, y'all gave me a bid, that's my bid, go find somebody else. So yes, if you say, hey, we would like to be at X, I would love that.
so it'd be like, yes, we would feel safe at, 500,000, 600,000, X number we come up with right now. That gives you something to kind of work with. Okay. So is there a number based off this conversation that council would be agreeable to if we want to keep it at Toddler Park?
Patty, you've spent the most time on this. What do you feel?
I'm probably extremely biased, so I'm not the one to answer that question because I support this park 100%. I think it's good for the city. I think we need it. I think it would attract adults with their children from all over. I mean, it's the busiest park now, and it really needs a whole lot of fixing up. But so let somebody else answer that.
So
because
I can't find it flipping through this. My electronic copy was easier, but I think the bid was 681. GMC offered 5 recommendations on VE where they eliminated the sign, the entrance sign. They eliminated something else. They changed the We Go Around to an Omni Spin, and then they, which.
what is an Omni Spin?
It's just, it was a.
It's this little thing right here.
Merry-go-round.
It's like a merry-go-round,
You sit on
but it's
it.
flat with little seats, and they can sit on them, and somebody can push them.
Can you roll a wheelchair on it? Or do you know?
I watched a video on it. The little girl came up on a wheelchair. She kind of slid off into it, and then got into one of the seats, and then was able to sit there.
Well, see, some children can't slide off of a wheelchair.
True, that's true.
And a piece of equipment we picked was wheelchair accessible, and if we're gonna have an accessible park, then in my personal opinion, we need to have it accessible for whatever comes through those gates, or whoever comes through those gates is a better way to put that. If you're talking about switching equipment, let's look at the equipment and see if it's gonna be what the park is gonna be designed for. That's important.
And I'm not saying, I'm on board with Toddler Park, because we've already made the decision on which park to spend this money on. So I'm on board with everything. I'm just in total sticker shock of the price of some of this equipment.
The equipment's
It's
unbelievable.
sticker shock, that's the problem.
Yeah.
ADA equipment is very expensive.
Yes,
Would
it
it be feasible to say cap it at 400?
That'd be too little.
The total
No.
cost of the
That'd be too
park?
You're
Probably
getting at
not.
almost 50% or 66% of their bid.
Okay.
I think realistically, you're gonna be around 620 to 640.
626.
So how much would that be out of our
I
bid?
think what we should look at is like the chairs, the picnic tables, because if you start cutting the meat of the project, then what's the point?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think if we gotta have a water fountain station, we did it Destination Park, they are not cheap.
What
So-
kind of picnic tables are these? Are these like the ones at 254 Main?
No,
Are these
no.
recycled plastic? Are they?
It's the pictures up there, you have to look, I can't see that zoom.
Up at the top left-hand corner.
They look metal.
I mean, I think we could
First
probably
off.
get them a lot cheaper, because that's something that we can put in after the park's done. But there's 2 chairs right there, that could be $20,000.
I mean, I don't see anybody ever using those picnic tables over there. It's some,
But
is
they'll use them here, but trust me, when it's
That's-
lunchtime, all the places are taken.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, you know, the simple stuff to me would be the benches and the chairs, get rid of that. But if you start cutting the playhouse, the mulch, the pad, then what's the point of doing it?
Well, the groundwork is important because you could always
This is a
upgrade
complete-
and stuff later.
Yeah. This is a complete, everything's gonna come
ground,
out.
everything, yeah.
Everything. And it's gonna be new and graded. It's not just putting a piece of equipment in a hole. It's not that simple. So everything comes out. I know Patty and I talked about doing that fence you saw earlier all the way around it. That was one of the things that we took out.
Right.
But, you know, the entrance, that's a nice entrance. I think it's worth the money. Just, can you show that fence, Kyle? The fence image? There's more stuff too, so there's like, that's the
That's
entrance
the
of the park.
entrance.
We talked about extending it all the way down, but, you know, it's another 15 or 20,000 it was. Go back to the other equipment, please. And there's, no, another one. And there's your mound, you know, there's drainage issue, I mean, there's drainage, there's more to it than just what you see.
The musical instruments, which are there 6 of them, 3 of them? I don't even remember how many there
They'll
are.
tell you on the
They're for
slide, I can't see.
autistic children because they love the music and whatnot. So everything has a purpose.
Yes. I think if y'all want to spend the money, let's do the benches. Stuff that we can add later, let's cut, but I think if you start cutting the
meat.
The equipment.
The specialty
sensory
equipment.
items, that little mound there, I was at downtown Watkinsville, they have one similar, and there was 500 kids on that little mound.
I love it.
They're using to use our existing swing was only gonna save us $1,200.
Really?
So in a scheme of thing, why would you put something 20 years old back in place?
Okay.
But they
And
may
we-
have to use it to save money. I don't
We
know.
did decide, I think, didn't we, Danny, those little bouncy things that are there now? We're gonna keep those and paint them? Did we ever
Yes,
decide
we
on
would,
that?
all the equipment we would put somewhere, yes,
Okay,
as long as it can come up without being damaged.
Okay.
That was the request we gave the contractors.
So it sounds like to me, maybe a starting guesstimate would be 6,250,
what'd you say?
625. My bad. I-
625 to 650.
Yeah. I need some coffee. Yeah, 625.
How much would that come out of our budget, Danny? How much would that be out of the budget if he set a cap at 625?
625?
I'm just going by what the mayor
I don't know
said.
what they're eliminating.
Like later, we could add more.
Probably
fencing,
100,000 or
once
so,
We
I
get
mean,
more SPOS
give or
money
take.
coming in, stuff like that. As long as we get the groundwork and the big stuff in.
But then, if you take all the SPOS Walton, then your pickleball court will be all general fund, which is fine.
That's 200,000.
Is that fine? Sure enough, fine?
I mean, we have good money in the.
Well, that would bring an additional 140 out of the general fund. If we're talking about we need 340,000, if we could take the 200 and add back, you know,
Yeah, the general fund, it'd be a budget amendment, just like with the code rewrite, it was not budgeted, it's a budget amendment. It comes out of the unrestricted fund, I think, which was 16 million. I think pickleball court's definitely worth $200,000 to partner up with, you know. So I just need to get with, the county, if they want us to use SPOS, then we would have to use general fund for this, 200,000.
flip-flop it.
Yeah, because it may be where we want to say, hey, this is done by SPOS money for both city and the county. That's something we'll work with the county, but don't get hung up on 200,000. That's what your unrestricted funds for.
so it may just be that we need 140,000 as opposed to 340, just based on what you just said.
Possible.
How much, Jeff, can we pull from Gwinnett? Are you,
It- it-
140?
At most, if they allow it, 140.
If they allow it.
If they allow
got
it.
it.
All right, so is everybody good with 625?
625, 650, is that what I'm hearing?
Is that pre or post contingency?
That's turnkey.
What is it now, Jeff? 600 and what, 70?
681 before the contingency. After contingency is 715.
Okay, so
So
apples to apples would be the 681 versus, what'd you say, Brandon?
625.
I just don't think you can cut that much without losing some of this equipment.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, 650 maybe.
Yeah,
Well, I mean-
I wouldn't touch the specialty equipment, but
No, but all these
things like
picnic
benches and
tables and all
chairs and stuff
Yeah, we
like
can do that
that.
later.
Well, that's what I'm saying, then you take that out, that's
Yeah, I
your
think we
money
got
right there, you're
40,000
down.
to take out, right.
So,
I think we
I
got
don't think you're
it.
gonna lose any equipment if you take out all these picnic tables and all that.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't think you're gonna lose
If
any
we ever
equipment.
want to upgrade those later, when we
Yeah.
get more SPOS money, we
Right.
can.
And hopefully the bidder is agreeable to that. They may have so much of their profit based on those items that may change their dynamics. But it's certainly something we can go back to them with.
All right. Anything else? Is everybody good with that? We can move on?
What number we're at?
625.
625 to 650, right?
Thanks, Jeff.
Well, wait.
625.
I don't
25.
think
Hey,
625 is gonna be enough.
Danny thinks that might adjust the, I mean.
I mean, I'll try, but I don't
Let's
want, I
aim for
want a range.
625, and it goes over, then I guess we could talk about it then, but,
I will get as close to 625 because you still gotta vote on it.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Sounds good.
Give you a
Okay.
ballpark, yeah.
625.
So are we voting for that on Thursday?
Where's my pen?
Is that correct? Are we, we're not?
No.
So we're
If-
gonna have to.
If the low bidder comes back and says, no, we're not going to play ball like that, so what do we do? Just toss all the bids and start over? Yep.
Well, I got a 10.
So you
Look
want
right
to
here.
table?
I act like I don't have.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we don't need to make any official action. I will come back if I have it by Thursday, which I strongly don't feel I
Okay.
will, but
Yeah, I
understand.
more likely be in April.
Now, we had the discussion tonight, so we'll just vote tomorrow. So if Danny has more information, we'll vote on it. If not, we'll table it Thursday.
Yeah.
Council okay with that?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right. Is that all we have for facilities, Wes?
Yes, sir.
All right. Transportation Committee report. Bill Duval.
I've got about 7 agenda items on my list. No, nothing. I'll just give an update, though, that maybe y'all saw the March 3rd last week, the governor signed the amended 2026 budget. It included some funding for transportation, which means, last year they came back and they had an additional amount. Is their typical LMIG that the cities and counties get, well, they had an additional amount on top of that, so this year is the same thing, it's $250 million. It'll be divided up the same way, same formula as far as LMIG goes. There's some changes, you got City of Mableton there, you got changes in mileage and et cetera, they'll work all through that, and then they'll reach out, I think, in the next couple of weeks, they'll send notices out to the counties and cities, and then at that point, we'll be able to make an application, and, so that's always good. They'll have a little bit more funding to use. And I think what's good about it is there's not a match to it. It's whatever the money is, we get to use it, apply it. So,
Awesome.
that's it.
That's good news. Thank you so much. Up next, City Manager's report. Danny.
Talk to you tomorrow. We opened the application for the Development Authority. We had one applicant. We do have several terms expiring, and we had one applicant, so I would suggest to y'all that you make that official Thursday night. Terry Parsons was the sole applicant. And then I would ask to open up the application process again, because we still have we will have vacancies come in April. I'm not sure if those who are currently serving will want to reapply, but they will have to if they do, and hopefully we'll have some more people apply, because if not, we'll be down to 4 or 5 potential.
All right.
You
so
okay if I
we'll vote.
open it up until April? So it's gonna shorten your window as far as interviewing, so.
Well, I mean, let's say we go ahead and accept Terry,
Our
like
goal
you're
is,
saying on Thursday.
yeah, to have a list before y'all tonight like we did planning and zoning, but we only had one person apply.
And I felt like last time it was planning and zoning that we barely got applications, and it was DDA that got them all. No, this time it's the other way around.
So I'll have the assistant city manager open the application up process tomorrow for the development authority, and hopefully we'll have some more applicants, come April, and then y'all can, if you so desire, reappoint Terry Parsons. And then he can be sworn in, I would imagine, at the April meeting or at their first meeting in May.
Okay.
His
Yeah,
term doesn't
whichever he
expire till
prefers.
April 24, or 26.
Good deal.
Next item is for y'all. February was busy, got out of hand, so Vice Mayor, y'all need to discuss it tonight, however you want to do it. You can vote on it tonight, or you can do it Thursday, but this is something that the council, the mayor opens up for nominations. Someone makes a nomination, and then y'all vote on it, and then that they serve as the vice mayor for the ensuing year. It is a calendar year.
All right, so the mayor typically stays out of this, is mainly led by council, so I'm just gonna open up for,
Or y'all can
y'all
wait. You don't
wanna
have
do
to do it now. You
nominations
can wait.
tonight, or
You can
y'all wanna wait
discuss
till
it and
Thursday?
Do it Thursday.
It's up to y'all, if y'all wanna wait till
Let's
Thursday.
just go ahead. It shouldn't
Get it
take too
over with.
long, I
Do
don't
it.
think.
All right. Take a motion,
Are we making a motion?
Open the floor to
Discussion?
nominations.
whichever y'all prefer.
I'll make a motion that we nominate Melanie Long for vice mayor for the next calendar year, for the next 12 months.
Second.
All right, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Melanie.
Thank y'all. That's the most exciting thing in a long time.
All right, so that is handled. Danny, anything else from you?
No, sir, it's 8:48.
I know.
Brandon, watch out, I might throw you under a bus, right?
I don't know about that. I take a pretty big bus. I keep
And Brandon, I just want to say, when you're out of town, out of the country, on vacation, that can't attend a meeting or something, please communicate to your vice mayor.
I will. That came up because I failed to inform Lisa of something. I was so excited about going out of town, I forgot I had a meeting I was supposed to go to. And luckily, Bill and Melanie were there to fill in for me. So thank y'all so much, and that was on me. Still getting used to this whole mayor thing, so.
And the vice mayor would have made arrangements to be there.
I know
for
you
sure.
would have.
Prepared
It
with
was
the,
on me. I was just excited to go on our cruise.
Ooh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Patty.
All right. Paul?
Oh, I'm sorry, Paul, hold on. Ansley, do you want to talk about GMA? I asked you. Sorry.
Sorry. So I passed out this to each of y'all. It was sitting here for you, and I emailed you. This is coming up in June. It's the GMA convention. They have the classes on here for Friday and Saturday. This fills up very quickly if you want to attend that. I need to know what 3 classes you want to take in case they're gone, and then what 3 hotels you might want to stay at. It literally opens and they're full within like 15 minutes. So if y'all can get those to us, it opens the 25th. I'll need them by Friday the 20th so that I can have enough staff to help get you registered.
Ansley, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, did I understand this right? Is one of these days or one of the afternoons like a trade show where we go and talk to vendors? Is that
Yes.
what
Yes.
happens?
Yeah,
Part of
so-
it?
Yeah, the trade show's
Okay.
open.
I may
couple
go
days.
just to talk to playground companies for the record.
Well, you can go, they have general session meetings, and those are, you go to the conference, you get to go to those. They also have
Yep.
large city, small city. They
Right.
got other stuff that you don't have to sign up to go for. But if you want these specialized training courses, you get like a little slip of paper saying you passed the course or you attended the course. That's what you sign up for, but you can't just go just for the general stuff. And they do have a trade show floor open where you talk to people who sell guns and fire trucks and
Right.
all the stuff that municipalities use a good bit.
Ansley, may I ask you a question? I won't be attending, but for those that do, I know that the year I did attend, I chose to sign my own self up. That took it off you because you've got to go, everybody, and like you said, it'll be sold out in 15 minutes. So what I want to encourage that those that are going, I remember I had to do something prior, pre-register to get like a number, because then it populates all your information in. So any of them that are going, you might want to share that with them, because they can be sitting on ready and clicking and get in quicker, because if they wait for you to go person by person.
And it may be a login. If you've
I
not
think-
logged in before, then I think that might be where it generates it.
Okay.
Yeah,
App.
But I probably would,
yeah. that
I would
definitely help
strongly
us, but I
encourage
don't want
anybody that's
to not attend
going
'cause they
to
don't know how
register
do it.
themselves.
So I'm willing to help. If anybody needs help with that, we'll do it. I just need it by the 20th so that we can get that taken care of.
I will say, you learn a lot during these. They're very informative. You do, some sessions are like getting information from a fire hose, but it's also just talking with other cities around you, learning. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You still gotta make it fit Loganville, but other cities have been through what we've been through before. And it's good to get that firsthand knowledge. So it's more than just the classes. All right, is that it, Ainsley?
That's it.
Yeah, she mentioned hotel.
Yeah, I just need to.
All right, now are you ready, Paul? You done, Danny? Yes, he's done
Yeah,
that.
thank you, Mayor. Before you tonight, for y'all to take action on Thursday, and again, this is something that's been before y'all before, and I'm bringing it back before you now. We got it all sort of cleaned up with this age. It is 2 charter changes relating to your candidate qualifications. One is cleaning up the 2-year versus 1 year to be compliant with Georgia law, and the second is to make the age qualification consistent at 21 at both the mayor and the council member positions. That's the first charter change. The second charter change is in section 212, and that just cleans up a typo that we discovered in the charter. If y'all are ready to proceed forward with this, what I would need on Thursday would be a motion to approve this charter change. Then it will get advertised again, and it'll come back before you again in April for you to pass it again. It requires 2 consecutive approvals. It's a little unique nuance to home rule charter changes. But that is the ordinance that's before you for your consideration for Thursday. I would ask that this not be on consent agenda so I can get a clean separate vote for it, please, on Thursday. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have on this issue.
Any questions?
2 others, one minor. I will not be here next month. I am doing college duty, carrying the child around to college-related things, and she'll be graduating this year. So Donnie will be here in my stead for the April meeting, just to give you all a heads up on that. And then the last one is, Councilmember Long had asked me the issue about drug testing for elected officials. So y'all are not city employees. As you know, your city has a drug policy that follows federal law and state law about drug testing for city employees. It's a standard workplace policy which has certain guidelines and criteria and when you can and cannot drug test. As to the issue of drug testing elected officials, the Supreme Court has opined on this issue. In fact, they opined on it for a Georgia statute back in the 90s, Zell Miller, Chandler versus Zell Miller, Supreme Court case at 117 S. Court 1295 from 1997. The Supreme Court declared that drug testing of elected officials is an impermissible standard under Fourth Amendment. It is basically a non-permissive search and seizure. It's violative of your Fourth Amendment rights. So to answer your question, these hierarchy of laws, the Supreme Court has said that it's not appropriate. So I mean, I can give you a copy of the opinion, but they basically get into the issues of impermissible searches is the constitutional basis. So it was addressed back in the 90s, and they said no, so I would highly recommend you not trying to pass an ordinance that is in direct contradiction to this Supreme Court opinion. And that is all that I have for you this evening, Mayor, unless, Council, unless y'all have any other questions for me.
Council good? All right. That's all we have on the agenda tonight. Do we have executive session tonight, Paul?
No, I have no need for an executive session this evening.
All right. So, I guess we want to go and do public comment or close out the meeting first? Which was the most proper way?
You have public comment now during your meeting, 5
And
minutes.
then close, okay. All right, so now we have public comment. Please, anybody in the audience who stuck with us through all this, want to use their 5 minutes, please come up and let us know. Anybody? I feel like I'm in.
Everybody for the raise? All right, thank you.
All right. I don't see anybody itching to get to the mic, so I would like to close public comment and ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We got a motion by Keith.
Second.
We got a second by Lisa. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.